No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Look, I can do the intro because of the fact that we're not live. Because normally, that awkward thing that we're doing where we're sort of like looking around, trying to figure out, like looking for Josh's thumb up in the air and stuff.
So we live right now?
No, we're not live, but we're recording.
I'm about to say, I still want to do it.
What?
Act like he live and look around awkwardly.
Just look over at Josh and wait for the thumb. I'm going to be honest with you. All right, so first off, the reason why we're doing this is because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and at least 75% of the men who you see on camera right now have Valentines. Lush?
I'm sending a bunch of flowers to a bunch of different girls.
That's smart.
He got a Valentine. Pamela right here.
Pamela Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He going to go crazy tomorrow.
Pamela Harris.
Nah, low key, I got plans tonight. So you
celebrate early.
Right. We gonna be all right.
I was like, earlier I was saying, oh, this is going to be funny because we can expose our Valentine's Day presents because this isn't going to come out until Tuesday night. And I think I figured out pretty quickly that like perhaps my Valentine's Day is a little bit more involved than you guys.
Mine's just like way more involved than yours.
I'm just glad personally that
Now you have to stand on it. Defend it. Explain it.
Yeah.
Break it down for us.
I got a whole thing planned. I don't even, just in case this might leak before, I don't want to expose it.
Leak. But if it did leak.
It wouldn't be the first thing, the footage that leaks at No Jumper,
No, but let me get...
We Hungry episodes have been leaked here, so I can't say my plans.
That is true. That was you, though. But I'm going to blame... No, I'm going to just air it out because I was like, I've done too many holidays where I did like, handbag dinner. Because that's solid. That's like good enough, right? Even the handbag's a lot. You just get flowers. But I felt like I had to do something like more of an experience. So I'm taking her snowboarding for the day, which she's never done before. I know her. I know she likes doing new things. She likes, new stuff like that. She likes physical stuff where we can't be on our phone, where we're out in nature and stuff. So I got the full day of snowboarding.
It's crazy, too, because my girl wants to go to the snow, but I'm kind of afraid of busting my ass snowboarding because I've never been snowboarding.
You finish the first day you go snowboarding, you're spending with your ass in the snow. 1,000%.
Because my boys, man, shout out to Big Chief and them, they probably go like twice a month now, bro.
Once you pick it up, you straight. But the first day or two, you gonna be.
I decided not to bring the kid.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
No, but I've seen people bringing their like 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds out snowboarding and kind of like holding them up and like letting them go down the hill, and it's pretty cute. But I don't think I'm ready for that.
Yeah, no, Astro go down that hill. I'll be chasing that.
It's called the avalanche.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of difficult for me because her birthday is on the 2nd, and then I have Valentine's Day right after that. So it's like,
I hate that.
And for us, we just went to Mexico. We spent
Did
a
it
week
up.
out there, and then I have to come back
yes.
and then spend like the plan another. You know what I'm saying? Something light for Valentine's Day, but this year. I'm just working. I'm just doing so much, and I forgot. I'm like, Valentine's Day is next week. I'm like, shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't have no dinner reservations. I don't have no present. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have nothing. You know what I mean?
But is she gonna give you a break because of the fact that you just went away with her for a week or whatever?
Yeah, she'll get. She doesn't really care. But usually I just call like Jeff Latham for some flowers. He always like come in like the clutch. Or I got like this other company that comes in clutch for me. But after that, but if you don't like plan dinner like 2 weeks ahead, you're done.
Oh yeah, you try to do that on like 2 days
like,
notice in LA.
It's like 2 days notice here is like they're not even picking up the phone.
They're gonna laugh
as a matter of fact, yeah. So it's like I don't know.
Might as well get you a double.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take her to Chipotle.
You're going to In and Out.
Maybe I can go to Cheesecake. You know what I mean?
But every day is Valentine's, babe.
Yeah, I mean,
like, no.
Yeah,
I love you every day.
I mean, it's crazy. It is a double standard out here. Because why don't we get any Valentine's Day gifts?
She did get me something, but I'm assuming normally when I look at like how much she spends versus how much I spend, it's an order of magnitude difference. Yeah.
Well, you know how there's like every day is technically a specific day. There is a day, and I'm not sure what the date is. We should have this intrinsically memorized by now. But there is steak and day, and
really,
yeah, there is a steak and day. So, ladies. Get right.
What day is this?
I don't know specifically.
Every day is steak and
if that could be looked up.
Yeah, Jamie. What's going on?
He said what? March 14th.
March 14th.
Oh, a mere 1 month away.
Perfect.
That's actually perfect. They picked a good date because it's right after Valentine's Day.
I like it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I got some gifts.
For you or
for me. I already know what I'm getting.
What?
Well, she bought me a refrigerator, and she put the community sticker on there, and she got me a PlayStation controller that I wanted, and some other too.
You're like a big kid.
Yeah, literally my thoughts.
Eighth grade
child.
for Christmas.
I like it.
That's the type of I like though.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
That sounds like new love to me.
New? Because you've been together, what, 10 years?
12.
Oh my
it's too
god.
late.
I've been together
it's
almost 7. So
You in the middle.
I ran out of shit to do.
but you're on like year 2, right?
I'm on year 2.
I mean,
Ooh, that's new love, man.
I mean,
That's
2 years.
great, though.
2 years from now,
That's great.
I
I
could
don't
just
even.
chill.
I don't think I never even received a Valentine's Day gift.
really?
I've never even got a Valentine's.
it's her
Day
birth
gift.
month.
Heather's
Women
gangster.
celebrate birth months.
They do.
thought that was
birth
only for
months
women.
for
They don't
sure.
do birthdays. They do birth months.
For sure.
Yeah.
I've never got a fucking Valentine's.
I bet
Day
she
gift.
would be watching this TV right now screaming because she's probably bought you stuff that you just forgot about because you're a normal dude like me who like doesn't
Socks?
really like I don't need anything. I don't really want anything. I probably couldn't name a Valentine's Day present either because all the gifts kind of just blend together. I'm gonna be real.
Unless you're a kid and you can just get.
Oh, when you're a kid, it's different because you don't have purchasing power as a kid.
Okay, you know, my girl told me that I should did, and I tell her all the time. I'm like, listen, I didn't grow up like how you grew up. She's like, you supposed to get your daughter flowers every Valentine's Day, and I was like, maybe I should start doing that.
My
Like,
girl was just
implementing
saying
that.
something like this to me too. She said that every Valentine's Day, her dad would get her like something cute, like a little toy or something, and it would make her feel special. It's like, oh, not just mom's getting something, I'm getting something. So there's another I got to think about.
Hold on. So what about if you have a son like me? Then I've got.
Hell no, you can't get him
my
nothing.
daughter gets something, but this is kids though. This
These
is
are
gifts.
children.
She's
He's not
looking
gonna
at-
understand.
He's not looking at it as a Valentine. He's looking at it as he got a toy and I didn't.
And,
So,
and
you
your
know what I'm saying?
kids,
They
the
close.
two they're real close in age, they like right there next to
He
each other.
like-
And
Nah,
what are you
that's
going
not
to tell him?
going.
Like, oh no, it's a girl holiday. I can't get you anything. That'd be gay.
That's
You
what-
can't
that's-
say that?
That's exactly what you said.
That's exactly what you said.
I'm not telling
That's
my
a
son
Say
parent.
that. I can't say that to my
Yes, you
son,
can.
dog. I
Nah.
ain't saying that to my son. What I'm gonna just do is not buy my daughter nothing. You feel me? We ain't going that route. I
What
ain't
do you
getting her
get your
ass
son?
nothing.
Some chapstick? Here, son.
It's pink. Too gay. He wore his Valentine's Day outfit. I like that.
Yeah, all
No,
red
but
for you guys.
your daughter's a perfect age for you to be getting presents like that.
Well, I got you.
especially because then it'll put you back in her favorite rapper conversation, and it won't be all about.
Oh,
Young.
I'm out of here.
I like the
NBA
song
young
Crip.
boy.
Yeah,
NBA young boy took the cake. She changed her Cash App name to that shit too, so it's out of here.
I should hit up Youngboy and be like, hey, I know a 13-year-old girl who wants to join 4K Trey. What do you think?
Okay, don't do that. But if you can have him say, you know, hello Armani.
that'd be
Oh,
amazing.
I
I'll
don't
be
know him
dad of
like
the
that.
year.
That's a good
what,
idea,
what do
though.
you guys think the perfect Valentine Day is for a girl? What do you think they like will love?
They need flowers for sure. A nice dinner. They all like fucking jewelry and shit.
I just feel like with my girl, at least, she wants a day where it's obvious that I really took the day off to spend time with her, to not be thinking about business, so that and also a day where she doesn't have to be thinking about the kid the whole day because that's like, you know, a bigger part of her life than my life. So I feel like honestly, the snowboarding thing is probably gonna accomplish what I'm trying to
No, that
get
sounds
at.
solid. My
And this is a surprise.
She has no idea, yeah.
And
my best homie is a DJ, right? And every year he would drop
Diplo?
a Valentine's Day mix. Shouts my little
Skrillex?
brother Smokey Martinez. He would drop a Valentine's Day mix. So all I would do every year is pop Molly with my bitch and listen to the Valentine's Day mix and order in, and it was amazing.
You
It was
ordered
amazing.
food off Molly?
Hell yeah.
I never got that deep into it. Every time I ever did a Molly, I was not thinking about food.
Yeah, I was trying to party.
It makes everything better,
damn,
including
you was
eating.
on Molly.
I just want to rock. I was going crazy.
Yo, did you? This is old gossip, but do you see DJ Drama saying that is the new song of Philadelphia and that Meek Mill's intro got retired?
I did see that.
Meek Mill's intro
he was
would
trolling.
never get retired.
We have not had
He was
enough
trolling.
time to be able to tell how powerful I Just Want to Rock
That
is
is
going to be.
That's the recency effect. That's revisionist history.
But I will
trolling.
say, like, I've been going back into the clubs and shit, and the fact that I'm hearing that West Coast DJs playing that, and people in the crowd is like super fucking with that. That's amazing.
It's more of a turn up record than the Meek Mill thing is. It's like a whole different. It's two different vibes.
And let's be real, the Meek Mill record sounds old as hell now. Whereas
No,
that,
it
does not.
that Uzi song, that sounds like right now. All the music is so
Oh,
fast.
okay.
All the rap music has turned into EDM damn near. The BPM has gotten insane.
True.
It's like that song sounds like the perfect, like high pitched, nearly like hyper pop type sound
That's
that people
fine,
have been
but if
working
you
with
turn
the
on
past few
if
years.
you turn on Meek Mill right after that, the whole club finna turn upside
But it
down.
sounds so rappy.
Yeah,
and
but
hip hop is not that rappy anymore.
Hey, you know
That
what?
intro is like the ultimate like club song. Like when you want the club to get super lit and the bottles is coming out and shit like that, they play that shit because as soon as that motherfucking
Hold
beat
on,
drop,
wait a minute. Y'all thought I was
It's
finished?
a couple of songs.
Come
The
on.
intro is a timeless classic club record. Finito by Chief Keef is another one. You can play that anywhere, anytime. People are gonna be screaming that shit out. And even First Day Out by T Grizzly, they still play that shit like it's new.
Bro, when that nigga said I did shit with Mariah,
Yep.
I don't
think
want to go
everybody in the club felt that in their soul.
I don't want to go to any club where they're still playing those fucking songs.
Every club
you
plays
don't even
that.
go to the
Nah,
club.
I know,
Fuck
but
outta
if
here.
I did, I would want them to play like that Uzi song and not a bunch of songs from 8 years
Beyond
ago.
just the club though, if you're in the hood, if you're on the block and that Meek song comes on, that's gonna resonate.
Find a new
way
block.
more.
Find a new block. That shit
Oh,
boring as
nah.
fuck.
Nah, that's classic.
I need
crazy.
S5
That's
and the
classic.
Chili Man on my block, where I'm from. Nashville,
S5
New
and
Hampshire?
Chili Man better not
No.
fucking come on my block, nigga. Shame on. I mean, but shout out to you guys.
No,
but
they do their thing. They do
that's
their
cool.
thing.
Yeah, shout out to.
Why
but
can't they come to your block?
They can come on, but I'm saying I need some other songs other than you know what I'm
That's
saying.
fair, yeah.
The newer shit. You feel me?
And it's funny you mentioned that T Grizz song because they literally it's the same format basically as the Meek record as it starts out, no drums, all instrumental, builds up, and then when that you feel me, Joy roll bitch, but the money
That
on
shit,
6 Mile,
bro.
that shit hits so hard.
Like if you go to 50 clubs, you're gonna hear Meek song out of at least 42 of them.
Imagining of having to spin a club for 3 hours and all you talking about is one to listen to is Lil Uzi song. He ain't gonna make it.
It's one song.
Yeah, you're gonna need
Uzi got a
Meek Mill.
catalog. Uzi probably
You
got like
gotta need
Uzi.
Meek Mill.
Uzi has a
Uzi
catalog.
probably has like 40
Grizzly.
songs that will go crazy in the club.
Drake, Future.
See, nightclubs versus
I know it's different, but
nightclubs versus like performances and stadiums is different.
Right.
You feel me? The nightclub songs and sounds is
You better
certain
not play
shit
that
ain't gonna
shit.
get played. No, but that's why I said for that to be the tempo that it is on the West Coast.
And it's getting
I've
banned.
heard them play that shit like 4 times yesterday.
how would
Yeah,
you
God.
feel if somebody offered you a gig? They were like, "We need you to come to the club 4 nights a week. You got to show up at 10:30 p.m. and you got to stick around till 3 in the morning."
I used to do that every day for free.
I know, but I'm asking TRell because he's a grown up. Would you
Right
actually?
now?
Would you do that? Because to me, it would have to be so much money for me to want to completely destroy my routine that I'm living every day, and I don't know if I could do it.
No.
It would be tough.
I would say holler at
I didn't even answer the phone for AD last night.
Show did it.
Suspect tried to send me a song last night at 11. I'm looking at my phone right before I go to bed. I am not listening to the song
gotta
you just
tell him
recorded.
to-
I can't do this.
I gotta tell him the rule. Adam don't answer past 8.
I'll answer a text.
Forget
No,
it.
you want to know why Suspect is the most flagrant out of all y'all? Is because he's the only person I know who, when my phone is on Do Not Disturb, he hits notify anyway on every text.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Which
I do that too.
it says it right there. You do not.
No, not to you, but I still do it. I think I did it to Duno the other day.
TRell,
If it's really important, I totally back it. But the fact that he'll do it for whatever, I kind of admire the ingenuity. That just makes me want to listen to the song more, I guess.
see, T-Rail's the old guy. Smac is a spring chicken, man. You feel me?
He
You
ain't
call
spring
Smac,
nothing.
he's coming.
Yeah, he coming.
Oh,
He's
okay.
coming.
Yeah, he going crazy. Too.
I'm like, let me call T-Rail and be like, hey, you want to come to the
It's
club? You know what I'm saying? See if
So-
you want to come. Because I know he going on Wednesday, he going to be like, oh, you invite me to the club? You want to do this? So I said, let me get ahead of it. Let me call this nigga. He don't answer the phone first. I'm like, hit me, bitch. He don't do that. And then I'm like, okay, then Smac fucking pops up. He's like, why you didn't tell me? I was like, bro, I hit T-Rail.
He was
He's
mad
like, I
you
ain't
didn't hit him
T-Rail.
to go to the club?
Who, Smac?
He was mad you didn't hit him to go to the club?
I didn't hit Smac up. You feel me? Because I was assuming, I'm like, T-Rail said he was at Q House. So I was like, oh, they probably at Q House. They didn't want to come to the club.
That's amazing to me that Smac is just ready to go 10 p.m. on a random night and he's just looking for something to do, down to do whatever. And then he's mad if he doesn't get the invite to the club because to me, I would probably be kind of almost more annoyed if you did invite me because then I'd have to be
Well-
dealing with the FOMO and thinking about the fact that I'm not going.
he had enough energy because he slept through the whole Super Bowl.
I seen.
Still
now,
smacked
now
off
that I
those
know.
Delta Munchie things we had.
That's
the
what had him
fucking-
sleeping?
What he ate 6, 7 of those
Mm-hmm.
things because it tastes like candy. He was smacked on our Friday stream. When I clicked in stream, he went to sleep and never left.
He just
was
stayed.
He slept there the whole next day.
How you feel about that as kind of a boss entrepreneur of this whole back on
He
Big
got
Thing.
through. He got through the stream. That's all that was important.
It was after.
It was after when I hit in stream. Boom, he went straight to sleep. He woke up the next day. He gave him some breakfast. He went home. He still was asleep. Super Bowl, nigga. He slept through all of that shit, nigga.
What did you eat for breakfast?
Today, nothing.
A Red Bull and a donut.
Nada.
You guys disgust me. Okay, I was just gonna comment on how I see so many people in here eating chips for breakfast, but then you
I
guys
ain't
haven't
gonna lie.
even eaten anything.
I ain't
It's
gonna
like
lie.
way
I
worse.
used to do that.
Yeah, you gotta sit here at fucking 10:30, then you come in here like
them pop chips. I'm like, these are a little more healthier than Doritos. I like the
less flavors.
they are though.
That's my goal, though. I want to get
Yeah.
y'all on a healthy breakfast routine.
nigga. You got me on the meal preps now.
yeah, but you didn't
I
eat
am
it
on
yet.
a
It's
healthy
11.
breakfast routine. You messed my routine up.
Oh, because you're here.
Yeah.
You would be asleep right now, huh?
No, I would be at the.
You get up early, right?
Yeah, I get up early.
If you
I
have
done
kids
took-
and you don't get up early, then you're a sociopath.
I mean, I would have cooked breakfast. I would have been hanging out with Heather just a little bit. You know, my eggs and bacon and a little. You
Are
know,
you making the
orange
eggs and
juice
bacon?
Sometimes I'm really good at eggs. I'm telling you.
Isn't there an egg shortage right
So?
now?
Yeah, they're hella expensive and hard to
Yeah.
find.
I
I
don't
think it's
give a
getting better
shit.
though.
Shout out to T-Rails.
I don't need eggs though. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to T-Rail's kids though, because when he was out of town, I came to his house. His daughter was right at the door, like she made sure. I was like, damn.
What? She was gonna kick you out?
No, she seen who it was. You feel me? And she's like, oh yeah, go ahead, go do your thing. You feel me? But I was like, damn, his kids trained like ninjas over there, bro.
Really?
They weren't about to let me just walk in the house.
Exit stage left.
No, because I'm like, do I knock? I'm like, Smac ain't answering. I'm like, do I just walk in the homie house?
Do you ever hold up a picture of like a gang member and be like, "Hey, if anyone who comes to the house looks like this, don't let them in"?
No, I'm starting to gun train them now.
Are you? How old is she? Like 13?
7.
Oh, the 7-year-old is getting gun trained.
Shout out to Derek Grace because he teaches you see his daughters, he over there. They know how to take everything down. Safety all the way. Like,
Gun safety.
yeah. I ain't taking my daughter because of this young boy shit.
I just taught my daughter how to shake hands. Actually, we have 5 different greetings. We have the high five, the pound, the low five, the handshake, and then the hug. And I'll like do the whole little routine.
Me and my 7-year-old got the whole little LeBron thing here with the hula.
That's fire.
All right, you know what I mean? Good luck. Have a nice day at school.
So did you wind up getting her the gun or no?
No.
Okay.
Was it like
I
a
said
toy
that's
gun?
I said, yeah, that's out the question. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
If it was legal over here,
But I was no. But I was happy though, because I said, look at young boy. He's trying to change his life. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be Mormon.
Great timing.
Bro,
Great
the
timing.
most perfect timing
Impeccable.
of all. And she was like,
Ooh.
whatever.
Mormon. Why can't you just join a normal religion?
She's like, I like your old shit. I like his old shit
Basically.
better. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
like nails painted young boy.
She doesn't like
Yeah.
Playboy Cardi, Young Boy, the new version.
No, but she's like,
But he gave that up, right? We ain't seen him in makeup in a while, right?
yeah.
It's been a few months.
yeah.
It's been a few
I'd
months.
like
religion.
to. Let's just leave that in the past.
I see you getting closer to religion. I see you got your wedding ring on now. Let's drop it now.
Wow, got a band on.
Let's
You
drop
like
it.
that?
You know what I'm saying? You,
You got
actually
one?
got married?
You don't got one?
No, I don't got one of those.
I'm wearing it earlier than I'm supposed to. I just
Oh,
like the
okay.
idea of being somebody's property.
Are you getting
bro.
used to it?
I thought that was
Okay.
that one thing.
I just like it because I feel like I'm gonna be like I feel like it's a flex, and normally I don't care about flexing, like in the sense that like I don't want to have a chain on when I go to the mall or whatever. But with this, I noticed the cashier kind of looking at it and realizing I'm off the market, and I kind of like that feeling.
Oh, so you trying to get at the cashier or what?
Bitch, you is not off the market. What the fuck is you talking about?
Okay, I'm
You
off,
gonna go fuck somebody this week?
I'm off the market unless you
people.
join
Yeah.
the pornographic industry.
You be like, I can't have sex with you unless you want to film with me and my woman.
You want to sign?
And that brings up
Wow.
the question: do you wear the ring during scenes, or what's the protocol?
I think you have
I
to.
haven't had to make that decision yet, but I am like getting into the habit of just wearing it all the time because I know if I take it off, even if I take it off to work out, I will lose it. It is absolutely
lost.
getting lost. Unless I maybe get into the routine of like putting it on my keychain, then I feel like I'm gonna scratch it or some shit. So
On a keychain?
I've never heard of that before.
or like I have to like have an exact spot where I put it so that I won't lose it. You know,
I'm gonna buy me a band.
band. But
Yeah, see how it goes.
you didn't you haven't thought about it? Like
when I get a band, I just want it to be all diamonds. I don't want it to be like the little gold.
I feel that.
I just wanted the simplest one
Shots.
possible. Yeah, it's a little gold. That's exactly what mine is.
A little
Shots.
10 carat.
But my girl fucked it up. She ordered it with the wrong date on it. She
So I
ordered
got the raw deal there right now?
it has like the date of our wedding or whatever. This is why I'm not supposed to be wearing it yet. But then the date is she ordered it with a 2022 date on it.
So what if you lose that shit before the wedding?
I mean, it was like $1,500, so I'll probably be all right. But
Okay, cool.
I'm not supposed to be wearing it right now. I'm just like seeing if I can get used to it because I've never. This is the most jewelry I ever like wore in my life. Like I had
Stop
a chain.
lying, dog. You had a 22 chain on.
I had a 22 chain that I wore for maybe like 4 days out of my whole life. So this has already like been on my body.
Wasn't
longer
that
than
like silver though? The 22 chain.
And then you had a grill.
That was Lena going to her Armenian uncle and being like, "Hey, I started dating this guy. I want to get him a fucking chain." And
That shit was-
he helped her out.
So he does jewelry.
She's got a bunch of jewelry making family members. Yeah,
Mm.
all the Armos. They got one foot in that
so
business.
Oh, they all scammers, huh? This family full of scammers, huh?
I mean,
wow.
I guess you could put it that. Not scammers,
No,
but
they
like
scamming.
I feel like if you sell jewelry, you're kind of like a scammer, right?
That shit
Yeah,
looked
you're a scammer.
aluminum.
You're
My
definitely a scammer.
Armenian homies, they got like
Wait, you hating on the chain?
That shit looked aluminum. I ain't
She
gonna lie
spent
to
too
you.
much
Damn.
money on that shit. I'll say that.
Who?
I ain't
What
gonna
it
lie.
looked aluminum? The 22 chain?
Yeah.
It was all real diamonds.
There's
Where
diamonds
your
on
ice
that?
at?
it didn't look
You
aluminum.
don't know what the fuck he's
I
talking
got
about.
diamonds. The fuck?
Yeah, you can't even see it. I need a
You
microscope.
can see that shit. You can see it.
You got an
Yeah, you
alcoholic.
can't-
You should flex the alcoholics t-shirt.
can't
Come on.
Hey, they trying to hate on our big chief.
Yeah, hey.
That bullshit
Did
you
I-
got
did
on
I-
your
did
neck.
No,
Did
I heard what Almighty said. I said, listen.
Did
What
I
did he
hate?
say?
I said, this the big boy. I said, this shit is heavy.
Okay, you got the big boy, but then so he clowning me.
You getting another one.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? Just
hold
chill.
up. But
So-
that's cool. I love my little.
What, you gonna
thing.
get him another one because that one's not big enough?
No,
No,
I love this.
that shit, bro. That shit. Listen, that shit is heavy, bro. Like people don't know. It's the grams
Yeah.
of what makes shit more expensive. It's not because you can get some little shit that's very, very hollow. You feel me? But the weight of the shit is like, you know what I mean?
I love it. It's
Yeah.
a gift. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, fuck Almighty, man.
It's the thought that counts.
He was just making fun of the chains for being small or something.
I still got
Yeah,
my shoes on. That Lush gave me. I gotta wash them
guy.
now. I feel like they done diddly now. I can't wash them, huh? My
You can-
forces.
you
You
can
can't
clean-
wash
you can
forces.
Bro,
Yeah.
you don't
Clean 'em.
wash white forces.
You could clean
can't-
them.
You
You
just
clean
go
them?
get some new ones.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fucked up.
I think
It's $99, man.
I finally found that other chain.
They lasted a long time.
Which
I ain't
one?
gonna lie.
Remember the
Yeah.
dude who gave me a chain?
Oh yeah, Oh, never mind.
I think I'm just gonna give it to Vel because he's been asking for it. So
Yeah, give it a
Give it a Bill, man.
Bill,
I can't bring myself to wear it. I'm
I've
not
been
a chain
doing it
guy.
up for you, man.
That's not like your brand. Even that, I'm like.
I know it's like a different guy, huh?
So I thought they have this ring for like fitness.
They
Have you
actually
seen
put
that
some
shit?
swag
Yeah,
on
I've
it.
I
thought
thought
about
that
getting
was
that.
the fitness ring.
No, I've thought about that because I've tried wearing the Whoop bracelet, but I just don't feel like it's giving me enough
The little
information.
tidbit.
It tells me how much I sleep. It's like I already know how much I sleep. I go to bed and I look at the clock, and then I wake up and I look at the clock again. Which really though, can I just complain? I've been on antibiotics for some penis stuff, obviously.
Ugh.
The life of a porn star, but the antibiotics are whooping my stomach's ass. Like yesterday was my last day, and this morning, because I also ate like shit at the Super Bowl party, I had to wake up this morning at like 5 a.m., take a shit, get back in bed just long enough to start to fall asleep. By 5:20, got to take another shit. It's just the fucking diarrhea. Like my stomach was so good throughout this diet, and then all these antibiotics have just ruined me. So I'm so excited to be off it, so I can get on the probiotics and start refortifying my gut.
But you're losing weight though because of the diarrhea. No, it probably
You don't want to lose weight like that.
no.
That's just water.
Shout out to probiotics too.
You went to a Super Bowl party?
Her family party.
Oh, okay. They love sports.
Walked up in there. Uncle Vic likes sports. Nobody else seems like they
Uncle
really give a
Vic.
shit. But I was fucking mashing. They had like the biggest pizza ever. You see that on my story?
Yeah.
That pizza is fucking gigantic. Had some wings, had some pie, some cake afterwards, but my stomach does not fuck with it.
Who's the best family member in her family that you just really love?
Uncle Vic sounds fire. Right?
Probably her grandma, honestly.
Grandma?
Grandma. Fire.
Grandma, what's her name?
You don't know life until you know
Yeah,
an
what's her-
88-year-old
what's-
Armenian woman.
What's her grandma name?
Mima.
No, her
Mima.
What's
real
her government
What's
name?
her
I don't
real
know.
name?
I don't know. We didn't got that far.
He don't know her grandma name is hilarious.
I don't think anyone has ever even told me her name.
Do you think you just be like Mima?
Mima, yeah. It's like she turned
Mima.
into my grandma right away.
What's her mom's name?
Get your
I'm
white
not-
ass out of here.
I do know that, but I don't want to get too far into this.
What's her
we
mom's
can't
name?
do that. Look.
You'll get the whole family.
Matter of fact, you're right. Stop, because these people are
Yep,
investigating.
they gonna
are
find
the
her Facebook.
FBI.
They gonna find her Facebook.
Oh my God!
Don't give them any
Man,
ideas.
stall
Yeah.
Mima out. Come on.
Yes,
You think Mima watches No Jumper?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
She definitely don't watch Plug
Does
Talk.
she know
I'll
that
tell
you
you
do
that.
via porn?
I don't know. I hope not. I don't think. I don't think. I think that she might just think that like I'm a rich guy and that I take care of Lena. From what I could tell.
Some truth to that.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
She don't make her own money. Just kidding.
Mima.
That's crazy.
Finding me.
JK. But so how the first question is how was you guys' Super Bowls? And then the second question is what did you think of Rihanna?
First of all, my Super Bowl was excellent, and Rihanna, she did very well. I think she did exceptionally well, given the fact that she was pregnant as well, and she hasn't performed in a long time. And on this big stage, she did a very, very good job. Everybody that's giving her this, this backlash for some reason, I have no fucking idea why. I mean, because there's not like a lot of performers that's going crazy like on a fucking Beyonce and Chris Brown level that can fucking do backflips on stage.
Well, let me just give you the word on her performance from one of the most important cultural creators in the country,
Beyonce?
Donald J. Trump, said, epic fail. Rihanna gave, without question, the single worst halftime show in Super Bowl history. This after insulting far more than half our nation, which is already in serious decline with her foul and insulting language. Also, so much for her stylist.
And he's
I kind of miss him. When I read that, I was like, we need this guy back on Twitter.
He wanted Lil Pump instead. Lil Pimp.
Lil Pimp.
This is the same guy who also said that NFL in itself, just in its entirety, was just like declining, going downhill. Ratings were going down. You know what I'm saying? Nobody watches the NFL anyway. So, I mean, we really just can't even. He's just funny at this point. Like, but him to take the time out to say that about Rihanna, it just whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Kodak said it too.
I mean, Kodak is his boy. He got him out of jail.
Yeah,
he ride with his
Oh
homie.
my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
But
riding with his homie.
When I was going through Twitter, though, I was seeing this insane polarization where I felt like probably like 80% of the people I follow thought it was one of the best halftime shows ever, and maybe like 10 or 20% of people were like really upset about it and thought it was really bad. And I don't really understand what they could think was that bad about it. Like, obviously she's not going to be doing backflips. She's fucking pregnant, which that is part of the performance. She came out pregnant. That was pretty impressive. Like, just wow.
In itself.
What an amazing way to announce this. She got the platforms going up in there. She got 100 different
like
dancers.
Smash Brothers.
What was it as entertaining to me as last year's where it's like Snoop Dogg, Dr.
And see,
Dre, Eminem.
and this bitch right
maybe
here-
not as much, but I still thought it was pretty dope.
This bitch right here said last Super Bowl was terrible performance. I said, what? This is the best.
I thought that
Super
was one of the
Bowl.
best things I ever
best
seen.
ever, bro.
Yeah.
Compton Court Building on the fucking NFL film.
Snoop crip walking?
throwing up
Come on.
the
It's a
nice
seed.
show.
You're
They
reminding me,
crip walking and shit.
Rihanna can't compete with that.
Look.
You got
she
Dre,
definitely can.
Snoop, Kendrick, Mary J. Blige, and 50.
Bruh, she went out there by herself, but I'm saying as a performance, like I didn't see like all those dance. Of course, Snoop, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent's gonna be cool. We gonna see him.
50
watch it.
as an
It's gonna be a
obese
good
vampire?
show.
Come on,
I mean,
fool.
but you put
can't
Rihanna up
front.
against them, all of them. I'm like, come on, get out of here. Like, it wasn't that crazy. I just wanted to see fucking Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg at the Super Bowl, but it wasn't that crazy. I'm not even
That
gonna
shit
lie
was
to
crazy.
you. Like,
You
I'm
tripping.
not like
You tripping.
It wasn't that crazy.
Okay, but if
though.
you're
Chucking up the seed.
during
shit was
one
hard.
15-minute performance,
bro.
you give me literally five
Smoking a blunt.
of the greatest hip hop / R&B performers of all time within the course of 15 minutes. That to me did, like, I remember the energy when I watched that versus the energy when I watched Rihanna. And yes, everybody was pretty captivated by the Rihanna set and everything. But let's be real, like bringing out Eminem and then 50 and Mary J. Blige. I mean, that is kind of a different level.
Playing the drums and shit too.
Okay, but this is the question. Should Rihanna have brought out a male guest? Or was it
it
more
kinda-
badass that she
And we
did the whole
just-
thing by
We
herself?
just talked about that. They was not about to let Kanye come out. Let's get that out the way.
The politics behind her bringing out all these male artists that featured on her songs was like it's non-existent.
I mean,
She couldn't
Hov
do
could
it.
have done it. Hov booked the damn thing.
Nigga,
but-
ASAP a real nigga. He like, you ain't bringing Drake on stage. You ain't bringing CB. Anybody you fucked with, you do this shit by yourself. The pregnancy is going to speak for itself. And I ain't going to lie.
She was not going to bring Chris Brown out.
I mean, shit.
Nah, she wasn't going to bring Drake out.
Shout out to
either.
CB
Hell
because
no.
shout out to CB because he gave her props and shit too. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I'll say this. I'll rank it top 5, top 6 like Super Bowl performances to
Of
me.
all time?
Yeah.
I've only seen, like,
it's
2.
definitely a top 10
I
for
can only
sure.
remember
Yesterday's?
Yeah.
Bro, you got some big performances.
Number one,
Michael Jackson.
number one is Prince. Number 2, Michael Jackson.
Number
This
one,
is all
Michael
news
Jackson.
to me. I don't remember any of this shit.
Prince performing Purple Rain while it was literally
did
raining.
shit.
You can't front.
What year are
Playing
we
Hella
talking here?
Inch. That was
It's a
like a
long
few
time
years
ago.
That was like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. It
I
wasn't that long
I
ago.
never even knew there was a Super Bowl halftime show until like a couple years ago in Rio. That's just so out of my
They've been doing that
realm
shit
of
forever.
possibility.
Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event ever.
The Beyonce one was crazy.
Beyonce's crazy.
The
Weekend was crazy.
Shakira and J-Lo was crazy. Bruno Mars was crazy. Like I functioned with all the U2 back in the day. Super hard. Come on.
The
I
more you
know.
say all this, the more confident I am that the shady aftermath version was probably the
Oh
best
yeah,
one.
no. I'll put that for show. That's like number 3.
Getting Eminem to do anything ever is like so unbelievably difficult that to me that kind of stands alone.
Okay, so let's go back to Rihanna having Kanye come out. She could
Absolutely
have had
It wasn't happening.
Jay-Z come out. She could have had Drake
Possibly.
come out.
It wasn't happening.
Chris Brown come
Wasn't
out.
happening.
I don't think Jay-Z wanted to come out. I think he's kind of at a
mean,
different point in his own
It would have been
mind.
fire though.
Who else could she have come out that have been like great?
Eminem, who came out last year.
And I thought Eminem was going to
That
come.
would
Yeah,
kind of
Eminem
make sense, but I
would've
also feel
came
like
out.
there's no way Eminem is doing 2 Super Bowls in a row. Or
No.
the other one was last year, right?
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking
Yeah,
there was a
this is
Bruno
last
Mars
year.
in between, or the weekend in
And
between.
the fact that it was in LA last year. That's come on,
on,
fool. You
bro.
can't,
The
Kanye's
Compton
canceled.
Court building
Yeah.
on the field.
bruh.
Look,
See, I think TRell, he probably had a bad experience in Compton. He used to live out there. He hating on us right
got
now.
packed up.
Because
That's fine.
if Q was performing,
I was talking
and
about,
they
like,
had,
dance-wise.
if they had Figueroa on the field,
it's tight.
you would have been crying.
it's tight. They didn't have game on the field.
They should have
They
had
should have had game.
100%.
I'm
They
still
should've had-
holding them to
but
that.
you know
I
they
don't
can't.
then
give
they
a
wouldn't
fuck.
have 50.
They can't. Yeah, but that would have been so epic. If
It's
that
LA
was
though.
It ain't happening.
If they did hate it or love it or this is how we do together, come on, fool.
Why-
And that
They
was
hate each other.
So is
I
Jay-Z,
know,
So is Jay-Z not performing because he runs like the NFL committee or
he
whatever?
changed
it
their
is?
don't even
entire
got to.
Dog,
He can do whatever he
y'all know
wants.
that Jay changed the entire booking process.
Yeah.
So before Jay-Z was in that role, what they used to do is take 3 potential candidates, and they all thought that they were going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show, and then at a certain point they would choose one. And Jay came and let them know, like, just from a logistical standpoint, that makes absolutely no sense because what you're going to wind up
How's
doing.
Jay-Z just going to show up and start telling them what's logistically plausible?
Well,
Because
you remember when everything happened?
I mean, he's the biggest hip
With,
hop.
you know,
I trust the NFL.
How is Jay-Z? What the?
I trust the NFL to plan the Super Bowl. How's Jay-Z going to come in and tell me, like, well, listen, I've never had anything to do with
Yeah,
anything
because-
like this,
because
but let me
remember-
tell you exactly what to do.
Remember when everybody started taking a kneel? They were trying to repair the knee. Yeah. They were trying to repair
taking
and
kneel.
take the kneel. They was trying to repair and you know what I'm saying, get, minorities
Well, if
on
I'm
board.
running the NFL, that doesn't mean you get to come in and tell me that my music booking process
that's
is
why-
out of
But he
whack.
was right because the thing is, when you do that, what you're going to wind up doing is alienate several superstars. There's literally not enough superstars of a caliber to be able to perform at the halftime show. What Jay was like is you select one person, you put them through the whole entire process, interview them several times, let them know, and if something goes wrong, then you holler at somebody else. And guess what? He was motherfucking right.
How was he right? You don't know.
How? What do you mean?
This year could have gone better. Maybe they would have had, Sam Smith, the fucking dude with the weird
Oh, yeah.
pants.
That
Maybe
would've
they
been
would
a
have
lot
had him
better.
on deck.
His
Maybe we
fucking
could have got a
outfit was
satanic
crazy.
performance by one of these trans people I saw at the Grammys.
You're right. Good point.
Oh,
Which one was so satanic that it just stood out to you?
Sam Smith with those weird black bubble pants.
yeah, that shit was crazy.
Why was that satanic? I can't. You have worse outfits.
I just wanted to drop kick him. I wanted to run at full speed and just boom and just watch how not practical for daily life that outfit was.
You just inflate that nigga.
Yo, I swear
so
to
the
God,
bubble pants were satanic.
when I was
Like,
watching
That's not
Rihanna,
satanic.
I actually thought like, oh, this is going to turn into a satanic performance. Like, there's going to be something that happens here because with the red, she just looked a little satanic. I've been hanging out with you guys for a while, so I'm starting to be like really on alert for satanic stuff. Really worried about emo
We've
stuff.
been hanging out with you.
yeah,
So weird.
Oh, so
Mr.
you are
Grand
becoming more
Mason?
satanic,
No,
and I'm becoming
Mr.
less.
No,
Mr.
you're
Grand Mason.
Grand Mason.
Look, she done did this a couple times on this motherfucker. We ain't seen it. They're ready to see it. You
The
feel me?
Illuminati is real.
Yeah, you a part of it, Grand Mason, man.
No, you guys didn't see that so many people were upset about the satanic Grammys performance.
For
by-
sure.
I'm always upset
I
about
seen
that.
it.
Yeah.
I know, but they were kind of explicit with it this time.
They
around,
were. He
right?
had the devil horns on with the year and me.
But people
Come
are
on,
also
dog.
like
Shit is
super.
getting out of hand.
But also, people are blind to the fact that that, like, for example, Hove, when they were always saying that about him, he plays with that imagery to fuck with people further.
It's The Rock.
Like the whole Run This Town video and all that. That was after people were saying he's part of the Illuminati.
But Jay-Z
so
is an
he did
Illuminati guy, not a Satan guy.
I believe
From
that
what I understand.
Illuminati and Satan are like
intertwined.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Illuminati is just
Fine.
meant to control the world. They don't necessarily have faith in a certain
Tell
God.
us more, because we know you
Fair
have a
enough.
membership.
Yeah, you got the inside scoop.
Well, to be
right?
fair, I think all of this is completely made up. I'm just trying to get on you guys' level.
I mean, I don't want to hear that shit, man.
Okay, but this is my question: were you offended when Rihanna rubbed her vagina and smelled it on camera?
That's what I wanted to
for
see.
like 800,000
I wanted
million
to see
people.
it.
I ain't gonna lie. The whole performance, I didn't even care what she did. I just kept looking at her like, this bitch bad.
But
as
you
a
know, you guys have
motherfucker.
daughters and kids and stuff, right? Like, how you feel about them getting to see her smelling her fucking thing on stage?
I mean, what's the difference we heard between her doing that and Mr. Old Town Road kissing another gay guy on stage during his performance?
I would
and having
say
multiple gay
kissing
people
is
on
like a
his
pretty
performance.
normal way of showing attention, and like
mean-
smelling your vagina scent on
Yeah,
stage.
I
is
bet you would say
kinda
that, Graham
different.
Mason.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, am I
they're
wrong?
groping each other on stage.
No, they
I
weren't
mean,
groping. They just
yeah.
Frenched.
I'd rather
okay.
see
Two
Rihanna
dudes
play
making
with a
out is
cooch.
different than a woman
Nigga,
smelling her
Michael
vagina.
Jackson was
fragrance.
grabbing his dick every.
Yeah, but he didn't smell it after.
Yes, he
I
did.
bust that on stage.
That was the thing. He's with
And I'll be doing that. Like when I'm like about to get in the shower, I will like sometimes like rub my grunt a little bit and just like see where I'm at.
Ugh.
But I don't want to see somebody do that on stage at the fucking Super Bowl, bro.
Well, you just did it right here for everybody to see.
yeah, but
so
this is an
it's just
adult
like-
audience.
What's crazier?
No, it's not.
This is for mature audiences only.
What's crazier, that or Timberlake popping out Janet's titty?
Oh, that was fucked up.
better have you naked by the end of
Did he
this
admit-
song.
did he-
That's worse because that's full frontal nudity.
Did he admit he did that?
Not
They
on
said it was a
purpose.
costume error.
You know what's crazy? They said that they wanted to honor Janet Jackson, the Grammys this year, but and to apologize for the like how they didn't stick beside her when that shit happened. But I guess she didn't go to like some early thing, and then they ended up scrapping it.
Oh, it's probably because Jay-Z told him to just pick one artist and stick with it.
Janet Jackson.
His amazing idea that Les was backing.
It is an amazing idea. They could do
Well,
Janet next year.
So you didn't want Janet Jackson there?
They could do Janet next year.
Hey, you know what commercial
You
really
didn't want
stood out to
Rihanna
me?
there.
I seen Jack Harlow in a commercial, and
Doritos one.
the first thing that comes to my mind is like, ooh, okay, this is interesting because
Illuminati.
I kind of don't. I don't see a lot of corporations like wanting straight white men to be their spokespeople these days.
you
Like,
kidding me?
That seems like that's kind of out of fashion.
No, it's not.
You are completely out of touch with pop culture then, because this is like every single commercial. Like you almost will never see a heterosexual white guy being like the face of a corporation these days. But then,
Why are you assuming Jack Harlow's gender?
well, he's dating,
He love
he's
hating on
dating a
white
woman.
people.
As long as you guys want to say things that are so obviously not necessary. But then when you watch the actual commercial, every second of the video, he is flanked by people of various ethnicities and gay people, like clearly gay people. Like they really went hard to make sure that their promotion of Jack Harlow wasn't going to be used as them promoting white supremacy. And if you want to watch the commercial again to understand what I
Doritos
mean,
commercial, right?
yeah,
So you know,
Wasn't Missy in there too?
everybody.
are there
Everybody was not a white man.
Was Raekwon in? Which one was Raekwon in? He was in a Super Bowl commercial this
I
year.
don't think I saw that, but
Yeah.
that would make sense to me
Which
too.
is
You
fire.
know what's the best thing that I've seen as far as like not the performance or anything like that? They have like an Air Jordan movie coming out. You seen the trailer for that shit on there?
Nah,
I was
nah,
like,
I
yeah.
didn't.
Hey,
I mean, what is the? What,
I think it's Mark. I want to say Mark Wahlberg. Oh, it's Matt Damon. My bad.
Oh, from Fubu.
Matt Damon.
I'll tell you by far my favorite moment of the entire Super Bowl. First of all, shouts to Patrick Mahomes' father, fool. That dude is such a G. This fool.
I never knew who that guy was because I always read his name in the MyBookie ads, but then I saw him twist his ankle, and I'm like, oh, that's that fool. All right.
Bro, Mahomes
He played hard,
Yeah, he
too.
did. But his pops at the end of the game, walking up with a blunt in his hand, like an unrolled with an actual Philly cigar.
It's an
And he
Eagles
said,
pack.
he said, I'm smoking on a Philly blunt. We smoking a Philly blunt after this game.
He said that?
Yes.
On TV?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Fire.
now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of major companies do kind of like use the African American ethnicity, you know what I'm saying, to promote their brands. But I'm trying to figure out why are they kind of, is it exploiting? Because at this point, it's like the number of black people in America is like significantly different, you know what I'm saying, than the amount of whites, Hispanics, and Asians.
All these companies have like diversity, like enforcement agents basically who like work there, and their job is to make sure that no promotional material that these companies put out ever looks a little bit too homogenous. So that's why you just have, everybody from all different walks of life. But like a lot of times, like if you're looking at like commercials and stuff, you'll notice that you'll like almost never see a white family anymore.
But at this point, so black people really are like we set the trend.
I think it's just that the idea of like
That's
a
nothing
white,
new.
if an ad that's just white people, I don't think it has to do with like trend setting. It's just them trying to like make up for the history of white supremacy. So if there's like a white family in an ad for McDonald's, that would be viewed as being in very bad taste. They want to have an Asian man with a black wife with a mixed kids, whatever.
You
Like,
seen what happened? What was it? Kendall Jenner with the Pepsi commercial?
oh,
They was so fucking pissed off about that.
That's what they're trying to avoid. Yeah.
They was pissed about
No, but
that.
a lot of other people will say, well, you got these black people over here because you trying to kill us. So you got
Low quality food. Yeah.
You got us in
That's
these
true.
McDonald's commercials because you want our people to eat this.
Well,
and
TRell,
kill us.
you
You would
a
notice
fact.
the same
They say
thing.
the same thing about No Jumper.
But you would notice the same thing about the healthiest restaurant
here.
chains as well. You could find a Chipotle ad. You're not going to find like a bunch of white people fucking eat the Chipotle.
Chipotle.
I'm just saying, there's like a healthier.
So it's bad
option.
taste now to have white people in commercials.
You could have like a white person, but they're gonna have to be trans or gay, or there's gonna have to be like one, and they're gonna have to be kind of like offset by a bunch of other people. So
It's called inclusion.
exactly. It's called inclusion. It's also kind of cringe, to be honest.
Well, like if you
You
look
and
at
Nick Fuentes,
it-
go rally.
It's not it's not just commercials though. Like if you look at award shows, the Oscars is very uncommon to see white directed and white like starred films to be pushed to the forefront.
I think they're gonna bring that shit back now. They be like, Will Smith just fucked it up for everybody.
Nah, hell no.
That was the blackest Oscars of all time. And
No, it was.
full Will Smith.
It was crazy.
teed up.
Amazing.
I was thinking that when I saw the Migos fight backstage at the Grammys or whatever, and I was just thinking like,
Alleged fight.
There's
Alleged.
definitely some Grammys employees right now or Oscars, whatever, who are thinking like,
Told y'all asses.
Should have
This is
never
why
gave
we-
these niggas money.
This is why Macklemore won.
But at that point, you looking at this shit and you looking at the Grammys and we just looking like a fucking all white party, and then the hip hop will be not even aired. It's just like it'll be like a little tag, a little commercial. Oh, hip hop, Nas and Nas won. Like we can't even sit down at this motherfucker. So it was kind of like racial, just seeing that shit, like racial tension. Like if we're not there, of course, you feel me? You gotta add us.
No, they did. You're right. They didn't even used to air.
They used to even air this shit.
Yeah.
I would like to let you guys know something. On Saturday, me and my girl drove into Hollywood to get breakfast, and on the way there, we listened to the Harry Styles album, and on the way back, we listened to the Beyonce album.
Beyonce way harder.
No, Harry Styles album is way better.
You're fucking right.
Sounds
And it's not
stupid.
close either.
Are you crazy?
That's just my personal
You
opinion.
said the Harry
You're so
Styles
white.
album sucked.
I mean, it's not my thing, but it definitely liked it better than the Beyonce album.
If you're into house music or anything like that,
Well, you
Beyonce
don't even
album-
need to say that. You know I'm not into
know
house
what?
music.
I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna go get in my car and I'm gonna do the same thing.
But my problem with the Harry Styles album is just that it's too happy. It's too like pleasant. It's just not really like my vibe.
You just want to
but
be angry.
He want to be.
I
devil.
need at least a little bit of anger.
Grumpy
I need at least
motherfucker.
a little bit of
Yeah,
grumpiness.
you go
I need
choose. You go choose Sepultura.
some
over
kind of
both them,
turmoil.
don't lie.
Sepultura hard. I would.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right.
He
on
listen to that. He
yes.
says, "Ain't no cunt would never."
Anal Cunt is better than Harry
And then
Styles
what-
and Beyonce.
What
is.
would you explain?
Clap.
Like Beyonce, like was she happy? Like how would you explain it?
She
How
was
would you
talking
explain
that
the album?
shit.
Yeah, how would you explain the album since their shit is too happy and too fucking jolly?
I want to see you and Lena do the fucking cuffing challenge.
How would you explain Beyonce?
Be on so unseasoned.
I just like I don't even. It's just so far outside of the realm of anything I would ever want to listen to that it's like almost pointless to even describe it. But
But he don't like R&B at all.
Sonic,
though.
yeah, but sonically it just did
but
nothing
you were
for
just
me.
talking about earlier how the BPM of hip hop music has increased. How it's got way more of an EDM leaning.
It
And
has
that-
nothing to do with my personal taste.
Okay, your personal taste. Did you like Drake's last album? Not the
No.
the one with 21, but the like the
with
dance
Sticky and all that. Yeah.
No.
One? Fair.
At least
I
you're
loved
consistent.
it. I mean, your ear to music, I don't mean it's just probably different because my ear, I love all that stuff.
If you like that Drake album, you finna fuck with that.
I like that Drake
Beyonce.
album, and right now I'm listening to Lil Yachty's album right now. It's
Incredible.
How is it?
It's on repeat.
That shit's
It's on
fire.
repeat. I'm getting it.
You
I
know who?
It's a smooth joint. You feel me? It's like something to ride to. It's different. I love that he, you know what I'm saying, he went a different route like that. It's kind of like for real gonna put at least 5 more years on his career, just like on
like
a
that?
musical. On
You
a
know that-
musical
I
level.
gotta fuck with
Bro,
It's
it was
definitely
produced
different.
by the dude from Tame Impala, which is like a really dope rock, like indie rock band and alternative.
Because I heard he went like a different route.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
it's,
went a
it's
different
very
route.
different.
Yeah.
It was inspired by Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. I don't know if you're familiar with that album, but it's like a classic rock album from back in the day. So yeah, Yachty is reaching to like new artistic heights with it.
That's good. I
How'd
like
that
that.
project sell? Is this all internet hype, or is
but
it actually real?
regardless
I don't
of the
give a fuck
sales,
about the numbers.
regardless,
Yeah, I don't care
like
about numbers
music.
when it
It's-
comes
it's
to.
for
Okay,
sure.
that's stupid because
it's
in
for sure
reality,
critically getting a lot of love. is
okay,
what's
I've seen it
happening.
also getting a ton of hate from like Pitchfork and stuff. Lil Yachty
Who
album
gives a fuck what
sales.
Pitchfork says?
Every time anyone says anything, you guys are just like, "Who cares?" Obviously, his sales matter because that tells how much it resonates with the people. Like people are
Not
talking about it
necessarily.
online. Yes, it does.
No, that's not the
Hell
only metric
no.
for if it resonates. with the
36
people.
equivalent album units earned, which is honestly
First
pretty
week?
good. That is pretty good. Yeah,
36K.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not.
Bro, all this music shit is smoke and mirrors. They can put.
yeah.
you
But
know,
album sales is one of the things that's like kind of hard to fake.
With-
And
No,
it really
you can-
tells you a lot.
You can 100% fake album
but
sales.
you don't see people doing it that much
with
these days.
no
do it all
with,
the time.
with no hit
Not like they
record
used
though.
to.
36K.
No, Adam,
is good.
they do it all the time.
Okay, but I'm saying like if he gets 36K and you've seen all these other artists who seem way bigger than Yachty currently, who are doing way less, like Ice Spice sold less than that. Fucking that to me does prove that that album is actually resonating. But
Whatever works.
But Ice
there's
Spice
a
got a hot
massive
song.
right, but there's a massive difference between being liked by the critics and being liked by the masses.
Like check
Well,
this
okay.
out. Bow Wow album sold 36,000 when it came out. His album 36,000. I'm not sure. 36.
How many
His
years
new
ago
album-
was that?
That was years ago. But after the fact,
Album
after
the
he
way
started,
they count album sales has
but look,
changed so
after he,
dramatically.
and these are physical, so this is even crazier.
So you're
if
talking
you
about
sold
like
50
over 10 years ago?
Yeah, so if you sold 50 and then you start pushing your songs and you pushing your music and people are getting on to it, and then after that you go fucking double platinum, that's how you supposed to actually push your shit because just because you sold this number your first week, shouldn't have an effect on how the music is. You feel me? And how it is on the
Okay,
people.
but it's like you're denying that there is useful information to be gleaned from the first week's sales, and there is.
No,
which it
you're
doesn't
right,
necessarily
but
have anything to do with
That
the
means-
artistry.
that
Hold on,
means- Look, that means you didn't have enough money to go get it the first week.
doesn't have anything to
It's
do
a
with
lot
that.
of things that can entail in
Album
that.
sales, like when we talk about the fact that 50 Cent's first album was like one of the greatest
shit's
selling
crazy.
albums of all time, it's like, why are we saying that? It's not because it proves that the artistry is great. It's because the fact that it resonated with that many people ran to the stores to get it, that says a lot
mean-
about how much it impacted the culture.
Oh,
So whenever
he
when we
impacted
talk
the
about album
culture.
sales, we don't have to go through this like
No.
album sales don't matter thing every
not-
time.
I'm not saying
they
they
are
don't matter.
important. They
Hold
do
on,
tell
hold
you
on.
something very
They're
important.
not the only thing that matters.
Nobody said that.
The 50, okay,
That's a straw man.
50 Cent, that was a different story. He was the biggest artist at the time. It was
know.
there wasn't a lot of rappers. It wasn't no streaming.
Okay, but that's not a conversation. I'm just saying
It's different.
sales
It
matter.
It
Sales
matters,
tell
but
you
it-
a lot about the culture.
It matters, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter overall, like to where what I'm gonna listen to
it
and what
doesn't.
I'm not.
But you're like arguing something I totally didn't say.
Yeah, but
No,
but
I
like,
get what you're saying, but I feel like the whole No Jumper Foundation was based off of underground artists
Okay.
who probably didn't sell a
all
lot
this
right
doesn't
away.
change what I said. I said album sales tell you a lot about how the album is
they
being
definitely
received.
do. But
Right,
but
so
like,
what are we arguing about?
Well, because the thing is this,
Because
like,
you're trying to base it on how big the artist is at
it's
the
not-
time.
No, I'm
rather-
saying
I-
album
I
sales
listen
tell
to
you
it.
a lot about how successful a project
But
is.
there's some albums that come out that
albums-
sell a lot. That are
If you were to
trash.
ask the labels, they would tell you that that's nearly the only thing
but
that they
there's
care about.
there's
What else do they
albums
care about?
there's
Yeah.
albums that have made huge impacts.
Nobody's denying that.
That lack a lot of sales. Like for example, what is widely regarded as the greatest hip hop album of all time, Illmatic by Nas, barely went gold when it came out. Barely went gold.
30 years
Jay's
ago.
first album
Doesn't
as
matter.
well.
Yeah,
Jay's
Jay-
first
Definitely
album
matters.
as well.
Reasonable Doubt.
But you're talking about
Reasonable
apples and
Doubt,
oranges
too.
when you start talking about an album that came out of the mid 90s.
Why?
Compared to now, though.
Because the way that music is released is so unbelievably different. Like it's just album sales matter a ton when you're talking
But
about
hip-hop-
They
how
matter-
important an
They
album is to
matter
the culture.
less than they ever
Saturated,
did.
though.
they matter less than they ever did. People don't even give a fuck about album sales.
I agree.
Now. It's a single-driven
Are
market.
you fucking crazy?
The
Of course,
single-
people care about album
it's a
sales.
s-
People talk about album sales every single time a project
Because
drops.
it's a dinosaur thing to do.
It's a
But everybody
single-driven
talks.
market.
People talk about it more now than they ever did before.
It's a
Hell
dinosaur
no,
thing
no,
to do.
No.
50 started it in the early 2000s. Academics kept it going by always tweeting out everybody's album sales. But you're telling me you haven't seen 5 billion YouTube videos
He
about
hasn't done it
people's
lately?
sales and stuff? Yes, he does.
Most
hasn't
most
done it lately.
artists.
Yeah, he
There's
does.
only
Academics do it all the time.
There hasn't been any like interesting ones for
but
a while. to be
there's
fair.
only select artists where even album sales even matter at a certain. There's so many.
It always
artists,
matters.
There's so
and
many.
everybody
artists
gets talked
where-
about and when it comes to their album sales.
Well, a lot of it does matter because a lot of artists they're afraid to drop because
Bingo.
they don't want their album sales
Facts,
to
but
be too low. Because to companies will take that and say maybe they're not as hot as we thought they was. Because if you're an artist that projected to sell 70,000 first week and you come and sell 20,
the point
it'll
is
fuck-
that
it'll
if
fuck
we
up
get on
business.
this podcast and we say album sales don't matter, we look like idiots
No, we're not
because to
saying
the
that.
entire music industry, it's one of the main things that they base everything
But it
on.
definitely doesn't.
In
it
business,
definitely
but
doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter to the consumer.
and it's also not as fair of a metric. For
we
example,
we know.
but why?
Look,
was I
if
gonna-
I-
Because
Look,
album
let me
sales
tell you-
aren't as important. It's all about
let me
streaming
tell
and
you-
stuff. There's all kinds of caveats.
this-
I get it, but it's like we can't have it so every time we bring up album sales on the podcast, we have to have this long, drawn out conversation about how they don't matter as much as they used
It,
to.
do,
and
it
shit.
does matter, but it doesn't really matter as much as it used to. Like, just say, for
don't.
for
It
instance,
matters for
let's-
impact.
for impact for
Impact
companies
for sure.
for business. No, let me just say, okay, I put Heather on Lil Yachty's album. Heather's not gonna say how much did he sell first week.
Right.
She don't give a fuck how much he sold first week. She gonna turn it on. She gonna say, okay, number 4, number 5, number 6, I'm banging. Period. And then that's it.
But
You
the
feel
thing
me?
is
And that's
that
the average consumer.
I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not going to base my opinion of an album based on how much it sold because I like all kinds of shit that is like extremely unpopular. But when it comes down to it, in order for me to understand how important an album is, to the culture, paying attention to the album sales is extremely important, and in fact, probably more important than my own personal opinion.
The
Maybe
thing is this
because-
though, people are dropping. They're not even really dropping albums. What an album really means is a record. You know what I mean? What people are dropping now are playlists, and your album sales are determined by songs that weren't even necessarily slated for release. This all began with Drake years ago, putting out like a bunch of singles,
Collections of
with
songs are
collections
albums.
of songs. Correct,
It's an
but
album.
it's not the. It's
That
not
have
the same
already
thing.
It might
accumulated a
feel
gang
a
of
little bit
streams
more
too.
like a
Right.
play, but calling it a playlist is
That's-
just marketing.
It's
No, it
that's
is a
the thing.
playlist,
That's
bro.
literally
It's
what it
literally
is.
the exact same thing.
Because-
It's still a list of songs in a row on Spotify
Yeah.
and Apple Music. Calling it a playlist because the songs are because there's more songs or because they all sound real different
but
is like
it's different.
all
though.
just
When
technicalities.
I think of an album, I'm thinking of getting a CD. I got the booklet. I'm reading through that motherfucker. I'm reading the producers, everybody that wrote on
That's
there.
old school.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But why do
like,
people call them LPs and EPs? An LP,
Length.
yeah, long player, and EP is extended play.
Right.
And that's literally from physical vinyl
A 40
records.
song project
That's
is
what
not a playlist. It's just a 40 song album.
But here's the thing too. Here's the reason why album sales don't matter as much as they used to. As much as there's conversations around it nowadays, in the early 2000s there was far more dialogue. For example, even like in the later early 2000s when Kanye and 50 dropped, hasn't been a conversation about album sales.
Lies.
Since-
Kanye and Drake, as if you don't remember like a year ago when this
That's
was
the-
the biggest conversation about their albums.
That was like 2
But
years
the
ago.
imp-
And
the
Still,
impact-
that's like fucking
the
20 years
impact-
after what
the
you're
once-
talking about.
No,
Once.
but the impact was not
Once?
like 50.
Are you
and-
crazy? Lush,
the imp-
you're playing dumb right now. You
impact was
know
not
that
like
it's a
50 and
huge
Kanye.
conversation. Anytime two artists drop side by side, everybody talks about Cardi versus Nicki's album sales.
But compared to the way it used to be, like the
But
conversation
50 was the only one pushing it during that era. It wasn't a conversation in hip hop until 50 made it a thing, and then it kind of lapsed for years. And then I felt like once academics started reporting on it heavily is when it really became a thing.
And
If
with
you-
the artist, I just feel like the artist has to resonate with the people, not just only musically. Like your image, everything, your style, everything has to resonate.
People are
especially
more
with
into the
young-
personalities
Yeah,
now.
now I'm really into this shit. Like, just say like not saying Lil Uzi, his music is good, but niggas is resonating with him, the whole image
That's
of
always-
him.
that's
You know
part
what I'm
of it.
saying?
But he
And it's
also
kinda
sells a lot of-
and
I was
it's
listening to
kinda-
50
it's like
Cent because he was on
Travis Scott,
steroids.
too. I mean,
I
yeah,
was
you
like,
got-
this guy's badass. I like him. No,
You
but
gotta have the whole image.
Let me
there.
ask you a question.
Uzi sells a lot though.
Let's pivot. Let me ask you a
does.
question. So, when I was listening to the Harry Styles album, I said to my girl, I said, "Do you think that there are other dudes out there who are making music that's just as good or better than this that we don't know about because of the fact that this dude was in, what was it? 100 degrees, 98 degrees. What was he in?
A fucking
One Direction, right? Riley confirms. But then I was thinking, like, I don't think that's true for rap. Like, I think if there was a dude who was way better than NBA YoungBoy and he came out tomorrow, that he would actually be like bigger than YoungBoy.
No.
in a year.
I significantly disagree.
I
If the
disagree,
music was that
100%.
much, but do you feel like the cream rises to the top in rap? I think it 100%
It
does.
does
No.
to an extent.
It
but
does.
There's a lot
anymore,
of
'cause
great
there's a-
music.
I don't know why I asked the
What's-
question. I'm so sure of what I think.
Hold on. Was Harry
Okay.
Styles the Beyonce of the group?
Yeah.
Okay, well then there it goes. It was automatic for him.
I just wonder
no-
to
no
what
matter
extent
what.
him already being in that role, like his music is apparently very, very good. I've like heard tons of people who know a ton about music say that they think he's incredible or whatever. But I just wonder to what extent him having that amount of publicity and everything, because like I don't know, would Justin Timberlake's albums have gotten as much attention as they did without NSYNC, even though it was like 20 years?
But
I
after
know he
NSYNC?
was also produced by
It's just-
Timberland
but
and the
it's just the-
Neptunes.
I'm sure whoever's producing Harry
It's the-
Styles shit is
Yeah,
It's
for
the
sure.
appeal, but like
too.
you said, bro, there's a lot like fucking Chicago drill scene is probably more crazy and more gangster than anything you could fucking hear. You feel me? You said you think the cream of the crop is like, what is the
Yes,
metric?
King Von's the best rapper to ever come out of
Wait a
Chicago.
minute.
So he became the
I'm
biggest rapper out
saying,
of
what
Chicago,
is the
right?
metric that you
King Von's better
grade
than G
somebody
Herbo?
that you
Yeah.
grade somebody
Better than Durk?
on the
Yes.
criteria
Outta here.
of cream of the crop? Like, what do you listen to? Like, what would make you say,
Better than
damn, he's
Pappy.
harder
Okay,
than Young Boy?
but I got to address Lush because he's clearly trying to take this the wrong way. Think about it. If a new rapper came out of Chicago and he was better than Lil Durk, you're telling me that there are outside forces that would make his music less popular than Lil Durk? I totally disagree.
but
I
there's
think
a-
if someone comes out who genuinely is making better music from that scene, that they're going to become bigger.
Okay.
The fans,
Okay, hold on.
the fans are
Hold on.
savvy. The
Hold
fans
on.
know what they're
Let
listening
me
to.
address
But
this.
see-
Hold on.
go
Let me
ahead.
address this real quick. Do you believe that Drakeo is one of the best top 10 artists to come out of the past several years?
I do, but I also
Then how come
completely-
he doesn't have a
Well,
top
Lush,
10
do you want me to
selling album?
answer? You want me to answer the question because it's insanely easy. I don't think Drakeo had mass appeal in the sense that I don't think that he was going to become as big as a King Von or a Lil Durk or
you
whatever.
kidding me?
I think he was
I think-
incredible.
I think he was
but
gonna
the
do
fact that he didn't really even flirt with that kind of success in terms of making songs that big. I mean, it's his style. Like, listen to a Drakeo album.
We didn't
He's
give
one of
him
my
enough
favorite
time.
rappers ever. But the way that he rapped was not like somebody who was trying to make big hits,
Bro,
right? Or
what
not
about-
like he was trying to make everybody
he got
happy
a
in
Drake
general.
feature.
Okay, but it
so
didn't,
what does
really,
that
end it
and
doing
it
what he was
didn't really
doing?
do that much, right?
So
Let's
what,
be real.
but what does that have to do with Cream rising to the top as far as talent?
Because Drakeo can be one of the best LA rappers of all time without having to have mainstream appeal.
What about Greedo? Greedo doesn't make like
But
records that are aiming
so what's
towards-
your explanation? Why is Greedo not the number one rapper in the world?
because there's a lot of factors other than talent
Let's
lead
let's
to-
keep it.
I just realized
widespread
having this
success.
conversation with rappers is probably not a good idea.
No,
'cause
no,
you
no,
guys
no, no.
all feel attacked by this.
No,
I didn't blow up because
minute,
of
wait a minute.
systematic
Wait a minute.
failures.
No,
it wasn't
no,
because of
no,
me.
no.
Wait a minute.
No,
Wait a minute.
no.
Wait. Hold on. Let's,
You did. You so say. I mean, you
Absolutely.
said you had systematic failures in New Hampshire. You didn't grow up fucking rich and all of this. So,
Yeah,
so
well,
you're on the same level as us.
eating hash
You're just
browns.
from fucking New Hampshire. So
No, I made it
get
to
in
be
this
one of the most
conversation.
important people in hip hop media from New Hampshire. So I had no systematic advantages, right?
no, but let's
Besides
keep,
maybe,
let's,
like,
let's keep it
having
real.
a good family.
There's a lot more variables
And luck.
to fucking
Luck, yeah.
hip
No,
hop
it's all luck.
to make you mainstream. For one, if you don't have a label, you're at a real big
That's what I'm
disadvantage.
saying, like,
if you don't have that,
Anybody
machine
with
pushing
an
you,
ounce of talent has multiple labels begging to
can't-
give
wait,
them
wait,
millions of
no.
dollars
Can-
in this climate.
Can I talk?
But
if
it's
you
true.
don't have a label backing you and making you priority and bridging those gaps and getting you those features and putting you on them stages, your shit is going to be
don't
significantly
need
hard.
features in rap.
Yes, you do
I,
to
I
a certain
stu-
degree.
Look, Adam,
No,
I study this culture way
Bro,
too much.
this shit- this-
for you to
this is
just
facts.
say that, and
You don't need features to blow up. If your music is genuinely that good, you
Okay,
do not
okay.
need
No,
somebody to
You're
put you on
not
a
going to
track.
be an independent artist and
No.
hit Super Bowl stage
You're
ever
not.
in your
What are we
life.
talking about
Ever.
Super Bowl?
But I'm just saying,
Where did Yeet
this-
come from?
We're talking
Where did
about
Yeet come from? He just made a bunch of music
mainstream-
people like.
but a
He's
mainstream
signed, though.
artist.
He's not independent.
But I'm saying, if
A
you have
mainstream
if,
artist,
if you're an artist with any sort of marketability, you have a dozen labels begging to sign you.
that doesn't
Okay,
mean that.
but-
To act like a label signing you is some kind of privilege is insane. The
Okay,
labels
Adam.
are dying to
Adam,
sign artists who
what
can
are-
be
what are-
successful.
What are the majority of your sales in music right now? Where does it come from?
Humans, I guess.
No, streaming.
Streams.
Right? There are playlists some of the major playlists, you cannot get on those playlists unless you're associated with a certain label.
So if you want to be on those playlists, you should sign to a label.
Not only that, but
Bro,
not only that.
it's the easiest thing you'll ever have to do as an artist.
But there's also a lot of...
That doesn't mean that you're going to get a good deal and they're going to make you priority or
That's
they're going to
another
write you to the top.
But there's also a lot of environmental and circumstantial factors that lead. For example, let's bring it back to Drakeo. If Drakeo had a few more years and didn't have this untimely fate that he met and could have potentially worked with bigger producers and could have been more integrated with the industry, we might have seen him rise to the top. So
he needed more time. I don't think that really is like you disagreeing with what I said.
No. But my whole point is that, because what you said is the top talent always rises to the top.
But you tell me a rapper better than NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy is the #1 street rapper. You tell me somebody who's better than him that just isn't successful because of systematic concerns.
NBA Youngboy.
You can name somebody you like more, but in terms of who's really making the best music, I believe that if you came out with a rapper who's better than him, he's going to be bigger than Youngboy.
NBA Youngboy album sales don't sell nothing crazy. His YouTube,
he sold 40,000.
Wait a minute,
with no promotion.
His YouTube numbers are fucking amazing. His impact is fucking amazing.
That's where his impact takes place.
But the fact that he doesn't play the industry games and he don't go to the reward shows and he don't play nice, his career would be 50
But
times bigger.
that's why I'm using him as an example, because he's somebody who doesn't really play the game.
But you can't look at NBA album sales, NBA Youngboy's album sales, and let that be the metric of how you view him. His impact is way bigger than his album sales.
Do you think that there's somebody out there who's better than Drake at making the kind of music that Drake makes?
No.
Probably is somebody out there.
Not
But we
that
don't know him.
I think that goes for every corridor.
We don't know him yet.
That's true.
But it's somebody out there for sure.
Drake-
Why aren't they signed? The labels will give him $15 million to sign right now.
If I was a great artist right now,
They try all the time, Adam. They don't mean that people receive it that well.
Yeah.
There's people that come out, and let's keep it real. The labels they'll throw that money at you, and the more money they throw at you, if that first single flop, you're out of here now.
And also,
if they give you that much money, they're permanently invested in your
they're
career
not,
until they decide that it's a wash.
They will put you
but
on
Adam,
the
let me
shelf.
ask you a question.
Yes, as soon as they decide
Adam,
to watch.
what-
Nobody spends $10 million to sign an artist and then just puts them on the shelf for no
How
reason.
many-
They put them on the shelf once they
How many
realize that
SoundCloud
artist
niggas-
is a dud.
How many SoundCloud niggas got these amazing big deals that we don't hear about no more?
Because the labels decided that they weren't going to be profitable.
But
going
they were
forward.
putting shit out there, and they wasn't received well. You still have to be received well and critically acclaimed, and people have to really genuinely fuck with you.
You have to sell. You have to.
Adam,
you
let me
have to
ask you a
stream.
question.
How do you sell?
What
People like you.
defines...
Make
They
music
put
that
you-
people would like.
But
But
defines...
them labels, they put you on them stages and shit. They put you on those award shows.
My point
they
is,
sit
you
there
don't.
and do that
NBA
shit.
Youngboy's proof you don't need to be put on those
But
stages.
what defines
that's
you?
why his album
What
sales
defines you as the
reflect on
best
that.
artist?
He's the biggest street artist.
What defines?
Yes.
What defines the best artist in your opinion? Like, what are the factors?
Nothing that we're talking about right now has anything to do with who's the best artist. It's all about who's the
mainstream,
biggest artist.
right? And NBA Youngboy is not mainstream.
He's not mainstream.
No, but
because
he's
his
the
label
big-
is not putting him out there to
He's
be.
the biggest street artist, and he's signed to Atlantic Records, who could literally do anything that he wants.
And then he just re-signed and for a big number. I bet you if they was judging off of his album sales, they wouldn't have sat there and gave him that big bag.
Okay,
they're
but-
judging his impact.
No, they
that
judge
he
him off
has.
his profitability.
You think but
That's it.
you think my
Which is
daughter is sitting
overall.
there worrying about, oh, he sells this much, he's maybe not as popular as you think it is. Like, no, you don't see Youngboy selling 200,000 the first week, 300,000 first week, but his impact is just as big as anybody that sells like that.
Album sales are just one way to judge an artist, and obviously NBA Youngboy
So
is
you're
ridiculously successful.
So you're proving a point that it's not the only thing.
I
That
never said it was the only thing.
you said it was a
You
big
guys
thing
are
about it.
straw manning it up
Well,
in here,
a lot
man.
of the best. But what about?
Every argument I'm arguing here is something that I didn't say.
No, but what you did say.
No, you just
though,
think you're right.
What you did say is that the cream of the crop always rises to the top.
And
I
that's
wouldn't
not
say
true.
always,
That's
but
not
I would
true.
say mostly.
Nope.
There is a lot of examples.
Ex-rapper stuff right here, or current
look,
rapper stuff.
Current. Still learning out now.
I don't believe that I was
100,000 other streams in a week.
I never had the talent or image that was destined for long-term success. So or mainstream success. So I don't put myself in that category whatsoever. I made hip hop music because I love this shit and I always will, and it's a part of who I am as a person. But that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm far removed from this conversation. What it comes down to though is there are a lot of super talented artists who just might not have certain intangibles, marketability, or land in the right situation.
Marketability is part of the total package.
But that doesn't necessarily
Getting
mean-
yourself into the right situation is part of the total package. All I'm saying is that these days,
And it's hard to connect them dots,
It's
bro.
so easy to blow up from nothing on YouTube that to me it is as obvious as any statement that I could ever make, as obvious as is that it's light outside, that if an artist comes out who's better than 90% of the artists out there, he's going to be in that upper echelon conversation, because I see it happen all the time.
Name
When
some.
artists blow the fuck up and get into that conversation.
Give me 5.
But somebody like King Von is such an obvious example where, yes, he did have the Lil Durk cosign, but as soon as he started to put music out and it got in front of people's eyes, he just started to fucking explode.
There's a lot of artists too.
King Von
that, like,
exploded, but I don't think his album sales reflected
They were
versus
pretty
what you're
huge,
saying.
and his videos
But,
were huge too.
but there's a lot of artists too that potentially could have been the one to emerge from their local scene, but it wound up being somebody else, and as a result, they don't get the spotlight on them. They don't get the artist development. They don't get the image consulting.
weren't it.
But that doesn't mean that they're
Nigga,
not better. Like for example,
if they were better, they should be able to get the fans into them.
From an artistic perspective, there's nobody in Detroit that's better than Cash Kid. No one raps better than Cash Kid. No one puts together bars that like Cash
I would say Peasy.
Peasy is fire too.
But Cash Kid,
but
bars wise,
but that's what I'm saying. But if Cash Kid had the same machine behind him that, let's say, a
Babyface
Ray or a T Grizzly.
But what do you think his excuse would be for why he doesn't have the machine behind
all
him?
right, look, Mikey pulled
I'm
this
sure
up.
he's had labels talking to him just like everybody
Top
else.
100 year-to-date streams by artists. Let's see who's on this list. I know Youngboy was on this list, right?
Drake and then Youngboy are
Yes.
number 1 and 2.
And now, mind you, the fact that Youngboy is above all those people and he don't play no industry games at all
Says a lot about how the talent just kind of
that
rises
kinda-
to the top.
That
but his
kinda
album
proves that at
sales,
this point.
his album,
That
no,
example.
but his album sales don't reflect to that.
Like, find a whack rapper in this. Like, look at how all the artists, all the rappers, we would have to agree that all of them are very, 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 very good. Look how high Polo G is. Polo G is one of the best
That
rappers to come out of
surprises me.
Chicago.
That surprises me, and I'm not mad at it.
Polo G is. Look at Suicide Boys. Look at X still on that list after all these fucking and Mac Miller. What the fuck?
Well, I'm gonna go to last.
X was a different.
I'm gonna go to the last one.
X was that
That's
nigga.
crazy.
I'm a Lady Gaga's. That's out.
King Von is still number
Lady
62.
Gaga's out.
Yeah, but she's the
you
last.
fuck with Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga's
voice is
fire.
amazing.
She's
Yeah,
fire.
Lady
she's
Gaga
amazing.
voice amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Get the fuck out
You're
of here.
tripping.
It is. You're
So y'all
tripping.
listening to Lady Gaga
You're
right
tripping.
now in the
Lady-
whip.
Lady
Bro,
Gaga
what's that?
fire.
In the whip.
You could put her on. I wouldn't be mad.
No, what's that movie? The Star. What's the shit called?
So y'all listen to
Sorry,
Lady
what?
You
Yeah.
tripping? Good
You
ass
listen
actor
to Lady
too.
Gaga.
No, I
Lady
ain't listening
Gaga,
to it. But I'm just
How
saying.
is Linkin
her
Park
voice is
number
amazing.
93? Linkin Park
You
has
know how.
they haven't
Give me
put out an
Linkin
album in
Park
like
over
20.
Lady
Yo, I love
Gaga.
how Lush always wants to
Gaga.
blame everything on systematic racism.
No, I was gonna say because bro died. That's how.
This year?
No, but like 6 years ago he died.
So that explains why they're number 1 streaming right
Oh,
now.
Lil Peep's on there too.
Let's
94.
go.
Again.
Lush, how does that make sense?
No, you're right. But they're also one of the most impactful rock bands of the past like 20 plus years.
But there's a lot of really impactful rock bands from the past 20 years that aren't on this list.
Wait, Lil Durk's
almost
not on
all of
here?
them. Look at Metallica up there.
Give me the reason why Lil Uzi Vert is not being set. And
almost
No,
certainly
well,
is.
Uzi
Yeah,
is
he gotta be
26.
up there, yeah.
Where's Lil
Yeah,
Durk
he
at?
is.
He's not on it. Oh, Lil Durk is
26.
10.
But Uzi don't be getting those looks
King
too as
Von
a
is
mainstream
62.
artist.
Where's 6ix9ine?
He ain't on there.
Was there a year where I wonder what the highest level he would have reached on this was though? Because I feel
He
like
definitely made the
there's
list.
probably a year where he was damn near the top, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Damn.
It
Wow,
ju-
yo, Yeet, wicked high up. Yeet's like number 41.
I just feel like though, like we're moving the goalposts a little bit because at first we were saying that over like the best talent in hip hop rises to the top, and then at a certain point,
I believe that.
Well, at a certain point, it became the most marketable.
Yeah.
So it's like the conversation
marketability. If you ever try to separate, if you're ever having a conversation about music and you try to separate the marketing and the individual from the music, you're not doing yourself any favors because it's all the same thing.
But you also said the connections too. So there's a whole bunch
Connections
of things.
can help.
Connections are
I'm
everything.
saying
That's a
if,
huge part
if
of
you come out as a rapper and you're better than NBA Youngboy, you will have every rapper in the game trying to fuck with you and trying to connect with you, and you will have every
No,
label
not
trying to sign you,
necessarily.
and you will have every single
No,
media company
they
dying
try-
to promote you. How could you possibly
about
argue
the-
with what I
okay,
just
I'll
said?
tell you
They
how. I'll tell you how.
tried
What
to
about the artists? What about the artists that get shelved because people don't want them to be
'Cause
bigger?
they're
and then they
ass.
get, and then they get put in writing camps.
Nobody
No,
gets put
that's
on a
not
shelf
true.
unless they're ass.
That
Bro.
is so
That's
historically
not
When a
inaccurate.
label gives an artist
That's
$10
not
million,
true.
they are not
Historically-
giving up on that investment
Yes,
unless
they
they
do.
decide that it is pointless
But
to
they're
continue
not-
to invest
They're
in
not
it.
caring about the
Why-
talent.
but why?
They're caring
You just-
about the single.
but
Tell
you-
me
but
from
you
an art
said-
from a T-Rell, from a label's perspective, why would a label give an artist $10 million and then put them on the shelf?
If I gave you $10 million and then you stepped out here that first year and you had no steam, I'm letting you go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if you have no steam.
If I write you, I'm gonna write you off on my taxes. You up out of here.
But that has nothing to do with talent.
And also getting put on a shelf is not the same thing. That you don't necessarily give them 10 million and then put them on the shelf. You might give them 750 racks, and that's the best deal.
What do most labels do?
The
they give the artists a bit of money, and then they're kind of like, all right, figure it out. And sometimes they help out, but mostly they're like, figure it out.
They care about the fucking singles. If the singles don't deliver,
they care about money.
Okay,
yes,
okay,
but
okay.
They make money by your singles
and album sales?
Do you see
and touring?
Okay, let me
whatever.
ask you. I'll give you an example.
That's if you want a 360 deal. They get your touring.
A lot of people are.
Do you see Sci-Hi on any of those lists right there?
I feel like you're leading me down a path here that is like pretty obvious. Like, yes, he's not marketable.
No, no. Sci-Hi got signed to Good Music and has literally written 80% of Kanye's huge records.
Writing a bunch of huge records is not going to get you to be one of the biggest rappers in the world.
But that's the whole point. You don't think that he had the capability of reaching that accolade?
He should have done it.
You said the cream of the crop.
You said the cream of the crop.
He would technically be the cream of the crop.
Not the cream writers, the cream writers.
But he is more talented. He's more talented.
At one very specific thing that I understand means a lot to you, but it's realistically not the entirety of this conversation. You're fighting straw man here.
Let me give you a point. No, before you move on.
You're fighting a straw man. You're acting like I said something I didn't say, Lush.
Before you
got to work on your conversation skills here.
Before you move on.
Several examples.
Before you move on, my example, if out of all those artists that was on that Hot 100, give me A$AP Rocky and give me Tyga. For the most marketable artist right now that I can make the most money with.
Rocky hasn't put out an album in like 6 years.
Exactly, but I could take Rocky right now and make more money than I can make more money than I'll say. I'm probably
the money you make with him is not going to be off music.
You feel me?
What?
Like, I mean,
the money
other than Jay-Z and Kanye, I can make the most money with Tyga and A$AP Rocky. You know what I'm saying? And they only have to put out a few records, and they don't have to be crazy. You feel me? So that means your image is way more crazier. Some instances,
they might have good
music.
Listen, Rocky is a very popular artist, but he hasn't put out an album in like 6-7 years. It's been a long ass fucking time. It's
exactly.
Like,
but A$AP is marketable.
But he has all the connections in the world, all of the cosigns in the world. But I think if you pay attention to the music industry, you know that he's not dropping an album right now because it's not going to sell.
But but that doesn't mean everything. The numbers here is okay. The music would be okay. You know what I'm saying here, and then marketable here. How much money can I put him? NBA YoungBoy or A$AP Rocky? Pepsi commercial. Give me A$AP Rocky. Calvin Klein or NBA YoungBoy. What we doing? Oh, his music is crazy. But what are we doing?
YoungBoy would never get a corporate deal like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he doesn't play by them rules.
He's on Amazon.
What this has proved is that marketability is more important than talent.
That's insane.
That's what I glean from this
If you've been able to sit here throughout this whole conversation and you still think that, I'm really trying to question you, Lush.
Most of these rappers, they have writers for them. They don't have to be talented. They can look the part. They can write the songs.
We're talking about artists who don't have writers. I've sat in the studio and watched NBA YoungBoy record his shit. I promise you.
We're not talking about just YoungBoy.
Yeah, we're not just
We're talking about there's a lot of artists in this game. Okay, because you could
being smart enough to get good writers is part of being a great artist. But you can
break it down to female rap. A lot of these female rappers, they look appealing, but they don't have the pen game, so they have somebody in there.
Why do you guys keep going back to the pen game? That doesn't fucking matter.
So
nobody cares.
Talent. Here. If they don't have the talent,
I'm talking about the talent of the performance. I don't give a fuck who's behind you helping to write it, who made the beats. That's totally irrelevant.
You said the cream of the crop.
So
as a performer, I'm not talking about the writing.
So basically,
so
I'll
long as
agree
it's
with you
produced
then.
Right.
I'll agree with you. The cream of the crop, as far as overall artists may rise to the top.
It's like you're finally realizing what I was actually saying in the first place.
I agree
you
with.
chased your straw man for too long. You finally are getting to what I actually said, Lush.
However, the best rappers don't rise to the top.
I thought you were talking about talent.
Best rappers.
I thought you were talking about talent.
Lush.
Did you think you were talking about talent?
Lush, I'm glad you finally figured out you were chasing a straw man this whole time.
We all thought you were talking about talent.
Why am
talent encompasses all these different things.
We all thought the same thing.
We're talking about lyrical abilities like they're the best.
We all thought the same thing.
I knew as soon as you brought up Sahir the Prince that you were not paying attention, because why the fuck did you bring that up? I know he's an amazing rapper, obviously. Who the fuck cares? It doesn't have anything to do with this conversation.
You said the cream of the crop.
I said an artist better than NBA YoungBoy. What in your fucking pasty ass brain would have led you to believe that I was talking about actual rap writing skills?
There's a lot
Give
more.
me-
than-
Straw man.
Oh, you know
anyway,
what?
More than
anyway,
goes
let's
into
move it on.
rap.
Let's do something else.
Give
This
me-
is so boring.
Give
so
me
boring.
Tyler the Creator and let's exchange this
So
topic.
boring. Let's-
Marketability everywhere.
It should
go
have been a
ahead.
2-second conversation.
Get outta here.
Marketability.
Have you guys listened
That
to
was
the
a
Ice
good debate,
Spice
though.
album?
No.
It would have been a better debate if you guys listened to me. But
Fuck no.
how do
Shut
you,
the fuck up. You didn't specify
no, because
what
at
you
the
said.
end, Lush actually figured out what I was saying. It's just kind of weird that it took 20 minutes
Because
to get
we
there.
thinking that you're talking about the best rappers
know,
will get to
and
the top.
that's the
You're
problem.
saying the
That's-
full package gets to the top.
Duh.
You didn't say that.
Yeah,
I did say that, and it was
No.
so fucking obvious. You really think? Let me ask you: do you really think that I thought that the best rappers were becoming the biggest artists?
Yeah.
I thought that's what you
That's
meant.
what I thought you were talking
did.
That is so fucking stupid that you thought that I meant
Well, I
that.
thought
You
you were-
know
Let's see
me.
what the people
You
say.
know I'm not that stupid.
I know you're not, but let's see what the people say.
But you chose to latch onto an insane argument that I would never make in a billion years and argue against that because that's an easier argument to have.
You're finna ask us an insane fucking question right now. So get to your fucking question so we can all tell you no.
It's not an
Yeah, it was
insane
already
question.
no.
My next question is: did you guys listen to the Ice Spice album?
No, you didn't
I watch
either.
your videos.
Yes, I did. I listened to it multiple times.
fucking liar.
Why would I not listen to this?
You hate female rap more than you hate R&B.
You have an IQ of 46 saying something like that to me because I fucking love Ice Spice.
Yeah, but you don't.
Because you
like
would probably
female
want a
rap.
fucking interview, but you
You
ain't
trying
banging
to
that
fuck.
shit.
No, I
That's
like
why-
it because
okay,
I
he's saying
like
it's a
drill.
different motive.
Okay, let me state my case about why I think the Ice Spice album is great.
okay.
I believe you.
It's probably
The
is.
song with Pink Panthers has I don't want to say the worst production, but like the weirdest engineering and production I've ever heard in my life. It doesn't even sound like it was recorded on Earth, but I fucking love it. It's a fun vibe. My girl likes it. My kid likes it. I think it's a great album.
Give me your-
it's
I
an
think
EP,
that-
but
Give me your best line from the album. Your favorite.
she in her mood. That's the song title. No, I like when she says, what did she say? Like, if I was bitches, I'd hate me a lot. I noticed that gets a laugh from everybody I have around me when I play this
You
song.
resonate with that, huh?
That's like a bad bitch Instagram caption. I told my girl, I'm like, this is every single fucking bar on this album is an Instagram
Hey,
caption.
you know what? Like, I do feel like Ice Spice is severely overlooked as a rapper. She has dope cadences. She sounds cool. Her image is fire. I like all her videos. I feel like she's more creative and actually has more depth than people give her credit for.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the album just because I just haven't got to it. It's so much shit to digest out
It's
here.
hard.
Like let me
Every week.
digest something first, and then I'll get to that. Like I'll pick my favorite songs, and then I'll get to.
To be
it.
fair, it's like a 20-minute
too
album.
much.
It's got like
Well,
6 songs on it.
Do you notice how like the Bronx drill and just New York drill in general, the only other topic that they're willing to explore other than just drilling is relationship shit.
Booties.
Yeah, like but
Yeah.
but not just sex. So, like they'll get into like, yo, like you was breaking my heart. You was fucking with my mental. You feel me? Like, I like the way that she does.
I know
those type of records.
I would like to hear drill rappers talk about other stuff sometimes because I like it so much. I found this one Bronx drill playlist on YouTube that I really like that like actually stays updated on all like the dope new shit coming out of the Bronx. But when I listen to like 10 songs in a row, I'm like, I need y'all to just switch it up a little bit.
More
It's just-
substance.
Just a little bit too much. And I ran down and I killed Bobby and I shot so-and-so and the rah, and it's just
I'm
like,
not
no.
even gonna lie to you. I don't like none of that shit. I'm not even into.
Sometimes
none of that
I don't blame you.
Sometimes it goes through the cracks. and I hear something I
Flacco
like.
had me
to
interviewing
that shit.
so many Bronx artists with him and shit that I actually started really listening to him and actually really started to like crave it when I'm driving, which is not something I normally feel towards rap.
shit. Yeah, I can't do it.
I do fuck with it a lot, but it gets a little bit morbid and just like when you really, if I actually think about what's being said too much, it's a little disturbing at a certain point.
I'm banging the new Eric Bellinger album right now. You feel me?
It's
I
more
ain't
so,
mad at
vibes.
you.
I ain't even gonna
Yeah.
lie to it. It's more so getting to the vibe to where I gotta have that R&B feel. That's why I'm listening to the like SZA.
All day.
That's why I'm listening to Lil Yachty's album. Like I ain't even gonna lie. This is my 5th time saying this shit. But man, I trust. I listen to this shit. Like Almighty put me on. Like I'm just trying to vibe to shit. You screaming loud as soon as I turn my car on. I can't take it. You know
Soon
what I'm saying?
as like,
I might
especially
ride
not
in
in the morning.
silence. Sometimes I'm riding in silence.
this is turning into the Joe Budden podcast where we try to talk about rap and then y'all are like, nah, we want to talk about SZA.
I
know.
love-
I've seen
love
them do that
SZA.
so many
I
times.
love SZA.
I know his fucking ass loves SZA.
Fuck.
You feel me?
Maybe we
For
can do like
sure.
an R&B after show for the No Jumper show where
Let's
I
do
leave
it.
and we have fucking
Yeah,
I
get
don't
the
know,
fuck outta here.
Vashti comes and sits down and you guys talk about R&B.
Is it because she's a woman?
She seems like she probably likes that
That
stuff.
Vasti knows more about hip hop than
Hip hop
98%
is
of the
hip hop
songs.
is just being like it's
To
just
be honest.
too saturated to where I can't even think Like, I don't know what you fucking saying, who the new artist, what's coming out, who dressing. Like, give me the same motherfuckers I've been looking at.
Here's a question. I want a direct answer from you and you. I already know what you're going to say. Would you be comfortable saying that you are genuinely very, very excited about hip hop right now?
No, I'm not excited about hip hop.
Yes.
I'm only excited about the artists that I really love, not the genre just in a whole. I just feel like I love Drake, you know what I'm saying? I love anything he does or whoever he collabs with. I love Future.
But you're talking about two artists that have been out for like 15,
but still though, and it's nobody that can like be on that level that can have me excited about hip hop, because hip hop is just draining.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Hip hop is draining.
I remember how I felt listening to rap in 2016, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And I could definitely say that right now is not exciting like it was at one point.
So when you give those top 5s, those top 50s, and those top 10s, it's always going to be those artists that made you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Those games, those 50s that made me do that. That's that Rick Ross that made me do, you know what I'm saying, feel those type of ways. Like I don't feel those type of ways no more.
The last artist that I really was like, I was fucking with, and I stayed consistent on the shit, probably is Uzi, to keep it honest.
But I also feel like there's a factor of age that comes into play at a certain point, and us being people of our age, because getting stuck in our ways and nostalgic for the music that resonated with us when we were growing up.
But I don't think I'm really married to the stuff I grew up on. Like, I was extremely excited in my early and mid 30s about hip hop. It's just that realistically, right now, rap music is fucking bland. There's been very little exciting stuff, very little new stuff coming out.
And just like you said, you're not married to the old stuff that you used to listen to.
I love that shit, but I don't need it to sound like that.
Bro, Diplomatic Community 1 is probably one of my favorite albums of all time, right? But I don't bang that shit every single day. I can go back and listen to 90s R&B every fucking day of my life, and it don't get old to me. It's timeless. So it's a different type of feel.
And you know why? Because it's really well produced. So there's so many different layers to the music that we go back to it and it resonates and it hits differently. The biggest problem with hip hop nowadays is the fact that prosumer audio gear, which means that you can record by yourself and you don't need like to go to a label or even go to like a real studio to record, is so accessible that there's just this huge oversaturation of music, and people are focusing less on production value. People are focusing less on depth. So that's why when an album like what Yachty just did comes out, it sticks out, because there actually is focus on the overall production value.
I don't think that there being too much rap is the problem. I think that there not being enough good rap is the problem. There's just not that many people doing anything that's all that exciting.
And exactly why Mr. Morale is one of the best albums, and people keep playing with Kendrick, you know what I'm saying, artistry, because he's taking the shit in depth, and he's not fucking
playing. And it's crazy. They try to clown him for his album sales, and that became the fucking standard of album sales.
Oh, another album where we had the album sales conversation. Lush, who denies that happens?
I didn't say that it didn't. See, now you're doing a fucking straw man.
No.
That's because my thing is this. I said that it's not as prevalent as a conversation as it was in 2006.
Still a prevalent conversation.
But when Kendrick came out, they said, "Oh, he only sold this much," and then everybody else that dropped under that. They're like, "Well, this is the new standard."
That Kendrick album kind of did come and go without that much.
Mr. Morale.
I don't feel like the hip hop fan base really kept talking about it that intently throughout the rest of the year.
The thing
about all the albums that dropped last year, who would you feel has people still talking about it?
None.
Yeah.
Hip hop as a whole right now is just in a fucked up position.
And you know what? This is what Lil Wayne said. I would rather sing and be an R&B artist because it lasts forever.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Being a hip hop artist, every R&B song or every song that you're gonna play or anything singing, you're gonna have that feeling.
That trash ass Rebirth album that he put out, that shit didn't last forever.
That was a rock album.
We talking about
it was garbage.
I like a couple songs.
It was a rock album. He was testing it out. But when you go to your wedding, or you're gonna play something that's someone singing.
But lollipop's in the
record. People love with you. You're gonna hear shit like that.
It's a huge hit. I'm saying there's plenty of hits that are rapped.
No, but what we're saying, what I'm saying, your favorite, you just said you're not married to the old rap albums that you used to listen to like that. You can't listen to them daily. You're looking for something new. What we're saying is R&B, you can listen to that shit all the time, and you don't lose that feeling with it.
And it goes back,
I don't.
And it goes back to what I was saying.
You don't.
It's because there's production value to it. There's melody. There's certain components which are tried and true that go back hundreds of years that make music sustainable throughout time.
Nigga, I can listen.
And you know
R&B
what?
is dead.
And you know
No.
those R&B
Well, right now
elements.
it is.
It is, right? It's like at an all-time low, right?
It is
Just
all-time low.
And I am of
Hold
the
on.
opinion. I saw somebody tweet this. They said hip hop turned into podcasting.
And you know
I
what?
honestly kind of think
This is the
that's
truth.
I kind of feel like that's the whole story.
You know what?
This is the truth.
Before we get into that though, those elements of R&B Puffy put into that big album, and that's
Exactly.
why that's why we feel, you know,
And
what I'm
those
saying?
are those are the biggest hits.
That's why
Sky's
we feel
the
like-
limit.
Juicy,
Yeah,
Missing You.
10
like,
Crack
yeah.
Commandments.
bro. Like,
Rapping. Chuck D sample. All I'm saying is that I forget. What were you saying?
we was talking about hip hop being a podcast. Like,
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I just feel like a gigantic percentage of hip hop fans basically pivoted from being hip hop fans to like YouTube fans and podcast fans. And I know I've said this before, and I know it doesn't seem like the entire explanation, which is definitely not, because rap is pretty fucking boring right now, regardless. But I definitely feel like there's a significant extent to which all these motherfuckers who would be listening to albums otherwise, they're just listening to shit like this, or they're watching.
This is
There's
shit.
20,000 people watching Academics on stream, and Adam 22 calls
about
in
the
and
music.
confirms that his former co-host had sexual relationships with his fiance because motherfuckers wanted me to.
So are we going to talk about that?
I
or-
guess we're there now. Yeah.
that was a great way to lean into that.
How did you feel? Because you guys all told me that you thought that I handled it well in the group chat, but I'm assuming that you were just lying to me and you actually want to talk shit.
Me personally,
Okay,
I'll tell
these
you
two
anything.
custers said you handled it very well.
No. I think you handled it very well for a situation like that. Because I would have crashed out. I'm gonna keep a G with you.
Crashed out about what though?
Just everything. Like, oh, what the fuck? No, but on some real shit though,
That
like,
would have made him look awful, though.
it would have made him look awful. But I could see why it's so sensitive.
But how could I crash out about something that I've known about since before I was dating her, and realistically, basically before me and him were working together on the channel and stuff? It's like, it was really just me being sick of the fact that motherfuckers were like trying to like hold it over my head or act like this was like this big secret. And I was watching somebody talk about it, and I'm just like, why am I even acting like I give a fuck about this? I should just, and I was planning on calling in, or not calling in, but just saying it today. But then I heard Academics kind of having the conversation. I'm like, let me just air this out on there.
See,
Well,
but
and
I feel like if you and I talked to Academics about this shit too, is that if that was like a black person, it'd have been a way different situation. Like, I feel like you, with what you and Lena do as far as business wise and shit like that, it's less of a like,
But Travis Scott knows that Tiger fucked his baby mama, right?
but they weren't cool, were they?
I know, but I'm saying they probably were for all we know, right? They're all rappers, they're all in the same circle. I'm just saying it happens, I think, quite a bit. Now, I'm not going to deny that it's fucking funny as shit that it happens to be somebody that I was so close with and that was on the podcast. I understand why that's so fucking amusing to people or why they're so obsessed with it or whatever, but I would assume that it happens like nearly constantly for most people, especially if you're like dating from like if you're from a small town and you got a girlfriend and you're like in your mid-20s.
Everyone's hit it.
I mean, everybody's just slept with each other because where the fuck are new people coming from? Nobody's moving to your town or whatever. If you want to look at like all of hip hop, you could say like, well, somebody could go pick a different
I
girl.
like
or
how you're
whatever,
trying to
but-
deflect and dumb that down. I don't.
What?
That's just really not like the case. Like, people, my homies are not fucking my bitch. You
No.
feel me? Like, that's, I don't give a fuck
Okay,
how
but
long they've been knowing her. Like
You
that's
wanna do
just
this?
not the. I mean, yeah, I do want to do it.
Let's go.
My close
you know-
homies, close homies haven't fucked my bitch.
But you, if one of your friends had hooked up with her before you were dating her,
But you trying to
that
act
be
like
an
it's a
end
normal
game?
thing. No, it's not an end game. No, I can
It's
get to
not
that,
normal.
but it's not an end game, but it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? You trying to act like it's normal, and it's
okay,
like,
the world
oh,
where
he
I'm
did
coming
that.
from is pretty normal.
Well,
Okay, well, you know,
so
that's
okay,
not
look,
normal.
I'm
My BMX homies, you think that this shit was out of the ordinary? Everybody in that world, like people would be dating people, and I'd be thinking, damn,
I
like,
think
I know
what you
five
said,
dudes who
but-
fucked her.
But I think what you said is right. I think it does come down to race to a certain
Yes,
extent.
bro.
Oh my God.
Because listen,
This is our diversity officer right here.
yeah, diversity.
He said it first.
But on some real shit though. Like, for instance, right? People say all the time, OT smashed your girl before you did. No, he did not. You feel me? If OT smashed my girl before I fucked, I would never fuck with her, bro. Because the way
But don't you think that's kind of fucked up? Like to acknowledge that your girl, the entirety of who she is as a human being, would somehow be tainted to you because she had maybe spent 10 minutes with your friend prior.
But I wouldn't do that. And I'm saying the way we look at each other, I wouldn't be able to like hang with my homeboy anymore or even do something like he wouldn't even talk to me. So the way that I would have took that versus the way that you're taking it is like two total. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
I'm not gonna lie.
We knock girls down. We do this.
I have had a girlfriend who slept with one of my friends first. It's happened.
I'm sorry. Y'all better than me. I'm not wifing no bitch that fucked with my homeboy. And
I respect it, but also it kind of reeks of insecurity.
Call it insecurity. Call it what you want.
I'm just saying.
I'm not doing it.
I mean, I understand. It's not for everybody.
And it's just also like, why do you want to keep fucking with somebody in a circle? You know what I mean? Like, why you want to be still close?
There's billions of fucking people out here.
But my thing is, if I had said like, oh, Lena, I really like you. We're having a great time together, but I know you and Phone slept together that one time, so that's going to be enough that I have to cancel the whole thing. That seems crazy.
But y'all different. Y'all over there doing drugs and on your
that was 4 years ago. That was 5-6 years ago. Don't act like I'm currently doing
I would like to
drugs.
think that all you guys were just snorting away and just
but
having
honestly,
fucking orgies.
if you fall in love, all that shit's out the window. You don't
That's
give a
what I'm
fuck.
saying,
If you
yeah.
genuinely in love, you are gonna break certain rules. Like,
If you really
what
like
did Lil
somebody,
Wayne
that's an
say?
insane reason to dead it.
And G Malone told me this a long time ago. I said, G, if I fucked with a girl, would you be able to fuck? He was like, yup. Like, I love her. I wouldn't give a fuck.
I mean, but a
G
lot
Malone,
of
real one.
But a
No,
lot
he told
a
me
lot
that.
of my homies have done that shit too. Like, they don't give a fuck. Like, the homie fucked a bitch, and then she like, I don't like you. I like your homie upstairs. Really? Like, oh, well,
That
fuck
happens
it.
all the time.
Choose up. So homie got to go upstairs.
If you
Now he
literally
gotta-
go to a
whatever.
different room within the same house, that I could see being maybe a
Bitches
problem.
done that shit at my house in Compton. I'm not lying. And multiple
It happens
women
a lot.
has
Hey.
done that in my house. You feel
Hey,
me?
but what did Lil Wayne say? I'd love you even if I knew you used to be a prostitute. Like,
And I've had homeboys that I knocked their girls down, and nigga, they damn near married and all type of shit. I don't look at them no different for that.
you
But
just
it's
don't
all-
want it for yourself.
I just don't want that for
And
myself.
I personally, it's not something I would strive for, but you never know. Like at the end of the day, like if you really fall in love, to me, that shit's not really.
And maybe it is insecurity, bro, because I'm a person that like thinks I like, okay, I pride myself on certain things. I don't like hearing certain shit. Like I'll be like, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to
Everybody's
sleep.
girls been fucked before.
Yeah, of course.
When I was in high school-
it could be a million other niggas that
Everyone's
slept.
girls
Yeah,
had come in
and
their
it-
face, has licked balls.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's the
I
truth.
mean, but in my case too. I mean, my bitch knew Lil Wayne. I mean, but hey,
Define
this
new.
is Lil Wayne. It's not Housephone. bitch.
Define new.
It ain't Adam and Housephone.
Hey,
It's Lil Wayne.
do you know?
I can get that a pass. You know what I mean?
Do you know that we all? Do you
like
know
that.
that we all don't really know about that exact story?
What you mean we don't all know?
Like, is the Heather and Wayne thing like a real thing, or like
that was a real thing. She was actually talking to that nigga, bro.
Is it? Was she just talking though?
I don't know. She'll never tell us.
Because all right, I can't believe it just got here. This was not my intention
Hey,
to
I
drag
love
you
it, I
into
love
this.
it, I
No,
love it, I
but
love
this
it.
is but
No,
this
this
is
is
great.
good,
No,
good,
this
good,
is-
good,
this is
good.
great.
All right, I've wanted to say to you this to you for so long, but I've never felt comfortable. All right, after my girl had Heather Sanders on her podcast, she said to me afterwards, she goes, "Did Heather and Wayne sleep together?" And I'm like, I honestly have no idea. And she said, "You should listen to the podcast because after listening to it, I'm not 100% sure either." And then I listened to it, and I still wasn't 100% sure.
Even if she did, that's like high class year to me.
But see,
so you're saying house phone's not?
no, but that's not.
you are a house phone can get the fuck up out of here. Yeah,
But
I mean,
see,
House phone's a better rapper than Wayne. He
This
just didn't
is
get the
gr-
advantages.
This is great. You know what
He
I'm
wasn't
saying?
privileged
But
She's
you
enough.
not gonna be like,
T-Rell.
oh, my bitch used to fuck with niggas.
But T-Rell, that's a difference between a Tyga and a fucking Lil Wayne.
Right,
Lil
because that
Wayne
ain't
is
my
not.
homie.
That's
They're
not that
both
was your
massive
homie like
star.
that.
Oh, you're
It
talking about
doesn't-
like for
bro,
him. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter like the star power of it. To me, it depends on like how close
Yeah.
you technically was.
That makes
If
sense.
she messed with Tyga,
That's different.
That's done.
That's your right. That
She's
y'all,
done.
y'all was right hand men after that.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. I'd be looking at niggas like y'all niggas is weird over there.
You
you
not
fuck
wa-
with it, but I ain't fucking
You're not
with
wiping.
her.
I ain't doing
Do
that.
it up.
And you're not
Go
wiping
ahead.
up a bitch that's smack fucked under any circumstance.
That's
You
no.
feel me? Like, but let me.
That's
Because listen, I'm cool. I'm cool with a guy that my girl used to fuck with back in the day. We not friends like that. You know what I'm saying? We
You're
don't
plotting
talk.
on his downfall.
No, not. No.
I'm
I'm just saying we're not like I ain't never hung out with him.
But
you feel me? He can't call me for nothing or anything like that. It's just hey, I see you, shake hands and shit like that. You understand?
Early
but if
on in the
somebody that'd be
relationship-
closer, Hell no.
Early on in the relationship, I said to her, like, once it was clear that we were starting to get a little closer, I was like, all right, you got to tell me every single famous guy / every single guy I know that you've ever slept with, just because I don't want to feel awkward if somebody knows that and I'm interviewing them or whatever. I don't want that to be lingering around. So
that'll probably burn.
She's a woman and she didn't tell you everything. Stop fucking playing. But let's go over here and
just because a woman has a past don't
just
make
because
her
Heather ain't being honest with you.
She didn't tell you everything.
And don't make her a smoochie either way.
All right, listen, you hate women. I have every reason in the world to believe that she was telling the truth.
That's fine.
But
me too.
You hate women.
But
that's fine too. But I just want to know.
I do agree they take certain shit to the grave.
They take shit to the grave.
But it's certain individuals where it's like, especially like in Adam's case, like if I'm about to interview this rapper or somebody, you need to let me know because he gonna be sitting here smiling the whole time.
And
like,
I want to know if y'all ever like DM'd or whatever. She had to tell me about a couple of those. Like I never hung out with them, but like I DM'd him a nude one time. I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I know that, even though I'm not.
But is Housephone like the alleged rapper that slept with Lena? That would like you're.
Well, no, because I think a lot of people.
Okay, now we going somewhere else.
No,
Let's go.
because she had a like
Straw Hat, man.
She had an old YouTube video with her friend where they were talking about fucking with this
That's
artist.
what I'm talking about.
No, it wasn't him.
It wasn't Lil Housephone.
No. That was way.
Okay.
I think that was before she even knew him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who he is. But anyway, I want to.
But in the video, she's like this.
Is he from your hood?
No, I mean.
Right. Whoa.
No, hold on.
No guessing game.
No, yeah, wait. I don't want to play the trivia. Look. I don't want to look. Hold on, check this out. Wow. I just wanted to get something out of there. But
in the studio.
There's
we need
another
to clarify.
secret
We need to clarify. You did not like intentionally invite Housephone to certain things because of this situation.
It didn't affect your relationship with Housephone.
No, because that, like I said on the act thing, that was before I gave him the opportunity to be on the podcast with any kind of regularity. Before that, he had been on a few random podcasts or whatever, but it wasn't like every week we're doing it together. That was after that.
I ain't gonna lie, you fuck my bitch, you ain't coming to nothing no more.
When I chose to put him on the podcast, I didn't even think of that.
You can't even come to the crib.
Never even crossed my mind.
I see you. All right, bro.
And he went to the fucking first birthday.
Well, why he didn't go to the second birthday?
I mean, I don't think anybody went to the second birthday besides you two,
Lush.
right? Oh, and Lush got the last minute invite.
Because I didn't get drunk on White Claws.
Because I was trying to make sure he didn't unalive himself. He was having a rough week.
This is a false narrative. This is a completely false
I had
narrative.
something in my head that I'm not going to speak of.
He looked like he was well alive to me.
My shit was buttoned up, motherfucker.
No, your chest hair was out at a 2-year-old
I ain't even got no chest
birthday
hair.
party.
Yeah.
He thought he was going. He's like, I'm gonna get some porn.
He was trying to get shows by one of Lena's family members.
For sure,
bruh. I knew Riley Reid was finna be there.
But to a certain extent, I know like that had to bother you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to hold that over your head, or just somebody that you know.
Me.
So somebody that you know, you know what I'm saying, that you've been knowing a long time.
It bothered me when people were throwing it out there like I had this big fucking secret when it was never like that. It was like
it definitely was a secret.
It was like a secret on camera, but it wasn't like the kind of thing that off camera. Like if you were to teleport yourself back to the downtown days, anybody who was around us at that time probably knew because it wasn't even like a secret.
I was doing, but I was over there.
I'm pretty
sniffing away, having parties. And
but
shit.
Don't you think that Phone is a good homie? That despite all that shit that was going on, he didn't say nothing.
That is a good point.
That's kind of lit. Like you gotta kind of respect.
No, I appreciate that
because he could have like you feel me.
I mean, he did tell Potlord so that he could go on fucking stream and sort of like hint at it over and over. I know this cool thing, but I mean, I'm sure he didn't intend for that to be how that would happen.
Yeah, I don't. He could have confided him in out of frustration. He didn't necessarily need to be.
But what Housephone did a lot. But what happened? A lot of
what happened
at
Housephone up here? For what happened to Housephone up here? That's fair game.
Man, Housephone that is fair game, and he did a lot of respectful things.
He wouldn't have done it because he knew that would almost be more of a thing to Lena than me. So he probably would have thought in his head like. He's always been on real
Lena's
cool
connected
terms.
to you now.
I don't think.
Why would he gives a fuck? But he wouldn't want to hurt her to get at me because him and her. Because him and her have always had this really cool, cordial friendship and shit. Like,
you don't need to get at her sideways.
So that's why I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna just do it myself."
And I know that she's like,
fuck, that'd have been over here. I know. So I fucked your bitch, you white motherfucker. Get money, West Side, bad boy killer. You know the deal. You know the realest.
That's crazy that you just said that. You should have said no
stealing
jumper.
Reddit jokes.
You should have said no jumper killer.
I'm gonna go suspect mode and say fucking you stealing Reddit jokes.
That was a Reddit joke?
Take money. West Side.
I'm like, boom.
Yeah, nigga.
Listen, I can laugh at myself. So at the end
No,
of the
no,
day,
no, but-
it is what it is.
But like I said, that shit doesn't. Even yesterday, you were talking about. I was like,
Was she
he
upset
handled it
about
very
all-
well because it
was-
seemed like he wasn't phased. You're like, whatever.
How did Lena feel
we
about
do
all
porn.
this?
We fuck bitches all the
she
time.
doesn't
It's-
like being brought up into all this shit in general, but in terms of that being brought up, I told her, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna say this on the stream or whatever, just because it's like better than having it just be this weird lingering thing. And she was like kind of annoyed at first, and I was like, you gotta just trust me. Like this is better than having this be this stupid thing. And I think she
You know
gets
what?
it.
When you said that, it fucked with me. I was like, fuck, I forgot about Lena. Not to say anything, but I forgot about Lena and her feelings. And I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? She's being brought up in this whole thing, and she really actually doesn't give a fuck. You feel me? So, you know what I'm she's being a mom, she's doing her thing, she's handling her business, you feel me? And I can feel her on that level. And, you know, being brought up in all of this shit is just like, bruh, it's the unwarranted, like, attention. Like, I don't need this shit. You know what I'm saying?
She's just so not a part of this universe, and she's just being a mom, doing her job. It's just like, I feel bad that, like, you know, clearly I'm the one, or like my universe is the thing that brings this weird fucking attention to her while she's just like minding her business and breastfeeding and shit.
I think this universe brings everything.
But you see how she's affected
It's
by
affected all of us.
she's affected by something, you know what I'm saying, that you brought along and you know what I'm saying, your crew. But
The
it's
trickle
kinda,
down effect.
But it's kind of like that'd have been the same thing for Housephone, and that's how I felt with him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want this attention. It was brought to him by this shit. You feel me? And like he had to handle it, and he don't have nobody backing him and saying, oh, you know what? Let me go talk for you. You feel me? And handle all this business, and that shit is kind of fucking his life up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he has to handle all of this shit. So you got to kind of take into account of his feelings too, because that's kind of like the same thing. It's intertwined. Like, that's what I was thinking when you said that too also. And I was like, well, fuck, that's kind of like what my boy is feeling too on that same level. I was like, you know, a lot of that shit shouldn't have been brought up, and it should have been handled totally different. But now, you know, he doesn't have the backing and nobody really that could back him up and take up for him, except his boys. And, you know, Potlord, you know, I commend them, Potlord and Blazzy, for, you know, what they did for him. I mean, because that's the best thing that you can actually do for your friend. You feel
Potlord
me?
got
And
fired for
you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is also though, from a
He didn't make a choice.
From a strategic standpoint.
You fired him before he could quit.
But
No, we've fired him.
Nigga, you didn't even pay him. You didn't pay him to begin with.
Well, we told him he wasn't allowed on the podcast anymore, which is kind
If I
of that's
wasn't-
how you fire someone when
But if
they're
you're
not
not
getting
getting no
paid.
chili, nigga,
Well, why was he there anyway? Yeah, I don't know.
from a strategic standpoint though, like what you doing that, especially when, you know, it's been alluded to on several podcasts that there's like this big thing, like we know a big secret about you and blah, 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 blah. And you kind of like knocking the wind out of the sails of that was strategically the smartest thing you could have
I
done.
was just
in that
watching it. I
situation.
thought, you know what? I think I care less about this than most other people involved. So why not?
It makes it takes away a lot of the power. So on that level, you know, you definitely handled it like as G as somebody possibly could have in this unfavorable situation.
And
for
while
all
being
parties
a
involved.
total cuck like myself, right? My next question.
You said it.
My next question is, AD, are you going to punch Sharp in the face on behalf of Wack 100? Because that was a little awkward when I heard these.
So, look,
When my
accusations
nephew
being
AD
thrown.
say it's when
now,
I tell my
let
nephew
me-
it's time
let me-
to go.
Let me say this, and a lot of people, and I'm glad we're talking about this right now.
You go sock Sharp, bro.
You have to, or you're going to get kicked off the Pyru card. Can we wait like 30 seconds so I go take a piss?
Go ahead, we gonna wait.
We can edit this out, baby.
No, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Just talk about it. I'll fucking piss.
No, let's just talk about something else.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then when Adam comes, I want to make this shit clear.
So let's keep it a stack. He was like completely flipped the script on that whole music argument earlier. Like now that he's gone.
Oh, he was tripping.
Yeah, like
Yeah, he
100%.
definitely did. He definitely flipped the
and
script.
then
on that
because I'm making hella solid points, it's
He
Lush.
gave-
we gonna single out
he
Lush.
gave the vanilla face, answer. I feel like you the new target now.
Yeah, of course, of course. Especially when I'm
Now he's like, nigga, you
especially
No,
when
when
I'm
he called
making
you
such concise points.
When he start calling you out your name,
straw hat man.
you got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he start calling you stupid and idiot. Nah, it's
So
over.
wait,
with.
so I'm the new house phone.
No, you're the new me.
I'm the new you.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
T-Rail, no,
moron.
I feel like T-Rail didn't rise up the ranks since he's been here now.
Now I'm TRell. I'm old.
You the old T-Rail.
I'm old TRell.
Yeah, he was.
So is T-Rail is permanent on the Tuesday show now?
I think so.
Yeah, he knows it.
I ain't permanent no shit.
Yes, you is, bitch.
No, I'm not.
You gonna come here every Tuesday.
Out of here, man.
You gonna come
Wednesday.
You gonna come every Tuesday.
I don't even know why you want to talk to me right now. I'm gonna get my ass
That nigga said.
out of here.
That nigga said this shit falling apart.
Man, look, check this
Come
out.
here. Come bring it here.
I like
ain't gonna lie.
it personally.
I ain't gonna lie. If a motherfucker said, "Look, man, I fucked your bitch, man. Sorry," that's gonna bother you. That's gonna bother you.
But that's not the way it happened, though. It wasn't even his bitch yet. It was just some girl he was fucking.
But listen, for him, like I said,
you and your homies never fucked the same bitch?
brand. Yeah, but we not wiping the bitches.
That's a word.
Yeah, his brand totally don't
It's
care.
totally different.
Who gives a shit?
Like let's say hypothetically speaking, if Tiger smashed Heather and TRell was still cool and hanging around, I'd be like, you was a bitch. That's me personally. You feel me? And I would want somebody to feel the same way about me. But
So
our
basically,
brands is different.
So basically, you just got the left.
I don't want my homies to know certain intimate details personally. But.
Wait, so you're gonna beat up Sharp? What
All right,
happened?
so look. Let me break down every fucking thing when it comes down to
Leave
me.
all that in, by the way.
Yeah, leave all that in.
What were you
Leave all
talking
that
about?
in.
What's the general?
Oh, nothing.
No, good.
No, but let me break everything down when it comes down to like me and Wack's relationship. A lot of people, they'll be like, why do you never go at Wack? Why are you afraid? Or are you this? Or you this, you that? Terrified, right? Let me tell you this. Wack has done a lot for me to try to push my career further. You know what I'm saying? A lot. So certain things that he does, I just stay out of it. Kind of like how Game does. Game is his manager. Blueface. He's Blueface manager as well too. He stays out of certain antics. I do not agree with everything Wack says, and he knows this shit. You feel me? Now, for one, when I got on the Games album on a documentary too, right? He said, hey, I'm giving you AD the okay to come do the album. You feel me? Put me on the album. We do the motherfucking video. There's a million bloods there. Me and all my homies, the blue side, he gives us our own trailer in his hood. When certain individuals, some of my homies was getting into it with other individuals, you feel me? He took up for our homies. You know what I'm saying? In his hood, made sure everything was good.
Y'all was in Pacoima?
We was in Pacoima's hood. Go watch it. My flag. What's it called? After that, bro, he comes to my neighborhood, bro. Too deep, him and Wacko. They come too deep to my hood. They put all my homies on fucking TV, Streets of Compton documentary on A&E. You feel what I'm saying?
So basically, you're saying that this is why you will beat up Sharp for him?
No, wait. Let me finish going. On top of that, there's a fucking commercial that me and Game did for this app and shit like that. Every single situation, he actually like tried to bang on my old manager, like, you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. I snatched nephew up, and that nigga didn't call Birdman and try to link me with Kevin Gates. And then the tip of the iceberg was, nigga, we in Miami. Nigga, everybody knows Club Live is not a place that you could just go perform at, bro. That's where Drake performs, Future, all the big dogs and shit like that. That nigga sees me in Miami. He walks me to the DJ booth in Miami. Nigga, play this shit. Let nephew perform. And I'm performing in Miami. My fucking local LA hit.
So this is why you are required to beat up Sharp for Wack 100.
It's not required.
Part of your contract.
He's saying this is why.
I'm just saying that I don't get into the logistics on stuff like that. Now, let's say I didn't have the relationship that I have with Sharp. Sharp is my boy. You feel me? If I didn't have the relationship that I have with Sharp and it was just a random nigga and he was like, hey, nephew, take that fade for me, I'm going to do that shit. Because I can call him and he going to do the same for me. Hey, get down with this person. He going to do the same for me in return. I don't think he knows me and Sharp's relationship. That's my homeboy. If anything, I'm going to try to, Batman this shit and put them two on the phone and make it shit shake. But
I'm going to just stay out of it. Because he said I would open the door for him to confront Sharp. No. We're not doing that for anybody. We got armed security here. Nobody's getting into the building that does not have official business to do here. And on top of that, Sharp is my brother with an A at the end. I got mad love for him. I would never let anything happen for him. To him.
And bro, that shit was funny because I'm like.
But shout out to Wack. Because I got mad love for Wack, but also like, don't bring me into it. This is a place of business. Nobody getting smoked, beat up, jumped, whatever here. Leave me out of it.
Hey, do you think he did that because he was taking up for academics?
Absolutely, right? I thought that was the point, no?
No, I think the gist of it was, I don't know if, because even like the clip, they was already having a conversation. And I seen academics break it down. I said, I guess Sharp was getting into it with the people on Clubhouse. And this is one thing that we gotta and me myself and TRell included.
I thought it was already because.
Wait a minute, me myself and TRell included. It wasn't until I heard academics talk about the employee word. Like, why do us as minorities get so mad when we hear the employee word? You know what I mean? And even yesterday, academics
You
spoke
did
on
the you did the best job ever of getting mad at that. With
I
that.
definitely did. Me and TRell.
Dejan, that was one of the best things ever.
And shout out to Dejan too, because
Well, he said it in a real derogatory way.
And just believe me, being the boss is fucking overrated. Yes, you do. Like, if you do well, you get to share in more of the profits, whatever. But also, everything comes back to you. If you get
No matter
sued, if you go bankrupt, it's all you. Trust me. There's plenty of times in my life where I think, damn, I wish I was just more of like an employee and I didn't have to be the person fucking answering for everything at the end of the day.
Shout out to Dejan too, because I apologized to him because I was like, you know what you were saying, like whether I took it that way or not, you weren't lying, bro.
And academics, even when I was talking to him yesterday, he said, I am an employee of Spotify. And it's like, why wouldn't you want to be an employee at Spotify? Like, they're one of the biggest corporations in the world, and now they are extremely invested in his success. Now, I'm not saying that means that he should stick with them forever, because maybe he just used them to get his podcast going. Maybe he's going to leave in a year or two or whatever. But I mean, I don't see how anybody could look at that and think it's like a bad opportunity.
And even academics yesterday, he said he likes what I got going on. He says, AD's a boss of community, but he's an employee of No Jumper. He said, you can be both. There's nothing wrong with that shit.
But that's true then. But also what Sharp was trying to say was, I'm an independent contractor. And although
let's keep it real. Sharp is in the same situation that me and TRell was in. We hear that word, we think people are trying to shit on us. You feel me? Like, oh, you an employee, like we getting little pay, or we not getting paid what we supposed. Like, we take that shit negatively, and when people need to embrace it, like, yeah, nigga, being employed, I'd rather be an employee making 6 figures than being you feel me?
Exactly. Look, I'm an employee of No Jumper. I'm like literally on the payroll and I'm very proud and happy about it.
And TRell has Back on Fig. He's the boss of Back on Fig. I'm the boss of community. We taking all the responsibility.
Yeah. What the fuck?
That was just me coming from.
You're the boss of all the minions, the yellow people that come around and shit. You know what I mean?
But me responding to that was just me coming from already like doing my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm like, I'm a what? And I had to think, and it didn't register yet. I'm like, no, I'm fucking not, bitch. But in the grand scheme of things, like you are, like, you know what I'm saying? And then how Adam broke it down, how academics broke it down, like I will actually bend over backwards, pause, to work for certain companies, you know what I'm saying, and be their employee to gain certain knowledge from these motherfuckers, you feel me, and to implement it into your everyday life or your business, like, so why not, you feel me, like, and like you said, like, it did bother me from where we come from, you know, what we endured, you feel me, over the time, motherfuckers trying to shit on us, and I just, and you know, and I didn't like that, and he was one of the motherfuckers that was trying to do that, and you know, I'm giving you a platform, you feel me, because his platform wasn't as big, and probably, I ain't gonna say never, but it's not as big, you know, and it's not as big right now. We was giving him a shining the light on him. So we're doing him a justice, you feel me? So it just all about how you look at it, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to educate myself, and you guys had to educate me on like, okay, look at it in a better light, you feel me? Because I didn't come from that shit.
But to be fair, the reason I understand why you guys took offense to the way he said it, because realistically, when you come to No Jumper, like the way that you guys came here, it's like, are you technically employees? Yes. Does it really feel like that much? I mean, for the most part, you guys are just getting on camera and talking, and it's not like we really put too many restrictions on it. And it's like, you know, it's like with you in the interviews, it's been pretty open-ended. It's not really like fucking something where it's like super strict, like TRell, you got to do this and not these other things you want to do. So I understood why in that moment it was kind of jarring for you guys, just because you really seemed like you hadn't really thought about it that way. But I think the bigger point is just that there's nothing shameful about that. Like, imagine Rock Nation hit me up tomorrow or some label or whatever, and they say, yo, Adam, we want to give you $50,000 a month to do this, this, and this. It's not good. Like I would be a fool if I didn't consider it.
But they saying working here sway our decisions, and sway my opinion on different things that's happening out here because I am an employee out here, or I'm not responding how they want me to respond because now it's like Master 22 gonna get you or this and that and the other. You feel me? But I'm like,
I'll beat his ass.
Yeah, but I'm like, this nigga really, really open minded about everything. You know what I'm saying? That's
You might
being
not always
said and
believe it on
done.
this podcast. Just because I am willing to argue about pretty much anything on the podcast doesn't mean that I'm like, try to control the way you guys move on here or whatever. There's been very few things like that where I was like, you are not allowed to say this thing anymore.
Yeah, I pretty much can say what I want.
I've never been told I couldn't say
me and Josh were talking about that earlier, where he was like, "Listen, even if y'all have a different of opinions to Adam, he still let y'all get on his platform and platform that. We can sit here and say whatever the fuck we want. I can say it's probably been maybe 1 or 2 times you said, hey." You didn't even say don't talk about it. You like try to not go as crazy as you would. But that's like within 3 years, maybe twice you didn't say something like that. And you never told me don't talk about this.
Realistically, Adam, would you want a bunch of people on the pod that like had a hive mind and thought exactly like you and weren't down to debate?
I know other podcasts that I've listened to, like not with any kind of regularity because they usually suck ass, but I've listened to other people's podcasts where it's so obvious to me that the host told the co-host, like, your job is to agree with everything I say and ask maybe some little like follow-up questions, but never question me, never like provide your own narrative. And in a way, I can see why it's kind of good because it does help them stay on point and everything. But at the same time, it's like just not really. It's definitely not what people want from this fucking podcast where they want to see us really engage in like that random fucking argument that we got into earlier about artists or whatever. I mean, I'm sure that the people at home, that's probably going to be like a highlight of the episode. Even though it was like harmless shit where it's like none of us are going to even remember that we fucking argued about that by the end of the day or whatever. It was just music talk, whatever.
I'm always take the slack. I'm getting a gang of slack, and I'm always taking the worst end of it because of the milk situation or whatever the case may be. You came on back on Fig, and you know what I'm saying, you let that be known or whatever the case may be. But I'm taking a lot of slack for that. But it was a whole lot of things that determine whether or not, what I'm saying, I should fuck with him, what I'm saying, and do this, what I'm saying, and, take Adam's feelings into consideration. It was, that's how I more so felt about it. And the people out here really don't know that, like, okay, like, how he come in here, just put his foot down, said, fuck you. Like, it was just like a nice little dialogue, rather, and put in there like, hey, bro, I feel this type of way. I fuck with this and I fuck with that. And it's just me as a homie, you feel me? I felt like making that decision, not me as a fucking employee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because everything's a consensual discussion of what we're comfortable with, And it's like, for me, I think especially after the past month or two, it's like even more obvious to me than ever that we got to really like work at moving like a team, trying not to like have the conversations about each other that certain people aren't comfortable, whatever. Like that's just even more obvious to me now. So I think really all things considered, we're probably getting better at it.
I think also we're at the point where so much of our dirt has already come to the surface. It's like, what else is there left to discuss? Like we're already butt booty naked to the world at this point. So
we're all bootylicious, really.
It's like pretty much.
There's a Beyonce song I know.
We're accustomed to it. Like we're accustomed to it. So
that's real.
Better.
Let me throw something out there. And also, shout out Sharp. I don't know if I emphasize this enough, but I got nothing but love for Sharp. I will protect Sharp at all costs. Shout out to Wack too.
Shouts to Sharp.
That's a given.
But I'm not gonna enable these reindeer games. Anyway,
I will not slap you, bro.
I will not do anything like this.
Now come on.
But this is the other thing I want to say.
He's gonna sucker punch him.
All right.
We ain't letting Wack in this motherfucker, man.
So throughout the history of the No Jumper Show, in the early days we would pre-record it, I believe, and then that at some point kind of stopped, and we started doing it live. And I don't really remember when Tuesday became like the default day and 6 p.m. became the default time. But I'm going to be real with you. Like, my life has changed a lot. I get up at 6 in the morning. 6 p.m. feels fucking so late to me. And the fact that we pre-recorded this episode on Monday morning, I'm not sure if the people noticed it or if it's just me, but I was like really looking forward to this. In a way where usually on Tuesday, because Tuesday is the beginning of the week, it's also when I tend to be doing a lot of interviews. So a lot of times it's like I do 2 or 3 interviews and then have to hop on the stream for 2 hours and do this. I enjoyed doing this in the morning a lot more. And
Same.
I know that some percentage of the audience is going to be pissed off about the idea of it not being live, but I would kind of love to keep recording in the morning on like Monday or Tuesday if other people were down.
I'm down.
As long as I feel like as long as it gets premiered so the chat can go crazy,
Yeah.
then it don't really matter.
Because the thing about it is that we never look at the chat
We
anyway,
don't.
so it's not really like we're live anyway. If
Yeah.
we could fool them, they probably wouldn't even know.
I feel like we all had more energy. We were all more like invested in it. Everybody was excited.
Why y'all adding me into what y'all doing on Tuesday? I don't give a
Oh,
fuck
he wants you to
about
give him
y'all
a
Tuesday
formal.
show. I don't want him to do anything.
Shut your ass up. You over there cheesing.
Why they
He's
trying to
like,
add me
please,
to this shit?
please add me.
That's
add
crazy.
Me,
They
add
just,
me.
They just
Add me.
bullied me into this
Let
shit.
us know in the chat. Do you want
Yeah.
TRell here? Because
Of
I can see
course.
it going either way.
They just
It's
bullied
a
me.
wobbler.
It's a wobbler.
It's a wobbler.
Who the fuck else you gonna put right there?
Y'all know the chat gonna say fucking, of course.
Who
No,
else?
'cause
Who
I
else-
catch your
who else
shiesty
you gonna
fucking-
put right there?
He has dropped shiesty comments about how he was annoyed that he didn't get added to the show when we added
told you
Lush.
that? He
You
hated
said
me.
shit to
I
me
think
and we
he-
heard it.
he hated me
Hey,
for
look,
months.
look. To be
You
fair,
hated me for months.
To be fair, Lush, I love
I think
you,
he still might.
but you was a bitch.
Ah.
It should have been TRell before you. You my nigga though, but I love it. It worked out.
Why
Okay.
am I a bitch?
No, I didn't know you like that until I got to know you on
But
a
why am
Tuesday
I a
show.
bitch?
Let me just
Why
speak
the
on
fuck?
this.
Fuck you.
When we added Lush and not TRell, like the mentality on that was I was like, well, TRell is like a dope addition to Wednesday. I don't want to cannibalize the Tuesday show by just this guy's dope on the Wednesday show. The fans seem like they really like him. Let's just get him on Tuesday too. Because I feel like we have to over time build up more hosts, and we don't want it to
Which
be
I
like
love.
we don't want it to be the same people on stream every fucking night. So that was my main
I
thought
took
process.
it that
do
y'all
love-
fucking argue with each other all
That's
day,
what it was.
and you didn't even want to
That's
sit
what
there
it
and
was.
deal
No,
with
because
this
I love
on camera
I
all
love
the time.
talking to him and I like being on camera with him, even though he is kind of an asshole sometimes and like his arguing sometimes leaves a little bit to be desired. But overall, I would say I really like being on camera with TRell. So that's why I'm not like announcing, TRell's going to be with us forever. I'm just saying I would be.
I
Same thing.
enjoy-
That's-
I would be
That's the
open
same
to
thing you said about me.
Y'all talking about my feelings as if I discussed it with them. And then they're just
Shut the
adding me
fuck
to
up.
this shit. Like, y'all punking me. And then gonna have the fans give a fucking ultimatum. He's there.
I enjoy having this ugly motherfucker sitting next to me on the pod. So
You make no
personally-
decisions.
I'm
Shut the
personally-
fuck up.
I'm personally,
To me,
for what it's worth.
to me,
make
listen,
zero
make no
house phone,
decision.
house phone is irreplaceable on the Tuesday show.
Absolutely.
But if I'm gonna do it with somebody, it's gonna be with my boy.
Pause.
Pause.
White
Pause. Yeah, for sure.
phone.
It's still a maybe.
What else do we have?
Y'all gotta hit. Y'all gotta sit here with Lush.
Oh, I have such a
That's
good.
what your ass got to do.
You guys are just going to keep sitting closer and closer until you're rubbing legs.
I
I'm
promise
thinking.
we won't.
He got that pillow to separate us.
Okay, this is my final topic
The
for the
Berlin
day.
Wall right here.
That's the Duno pillow.
Okay.
This is my final topic. So over the weekend, I just happened to see a photo of MGK leaving Drake's Super Bowl party, and didn't think about it too hard. Was just like, oh yeah, it's Super Bowl time. Celebrities doing stuff. There's MGK, my op. He's famous, more famous than me. He's at the Super Bowl party. Cool. And then I see that at some point, I think it was Saturday night, his girl burned his possessions and put which song was it again? Some sad ass song about somebody breaking their heart and lying to him and shit. So I don't know what this freaky guy was doing
And
at the Super
followed
Bowl
Eminem.
party. And is she still following him?
Followed Eminem.
That's some weird
And
shit.
it's only 3 people she follows. She follows Harry Styles, Eminem. And,
I mean, she
and-
was super.
You know what would
She
be?
ran right to the
Hey,
odds.
hey, honestly, since you
She
have
should have
beat-
followed me.
She should have, and she should be on Plug Talk. If she was on Plug Talk,
I think it'd be really good for her career. yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you drink each other blood and you do wild shit like that. I mean,
Yeah,
No,
once
for real.
she
Just
drinks
start-
your blood, you can't expect her to not burn your possessions and
mean,
follow Eminem. You think
yeah.
Eminem DM'd her?
no.
fuck no.
No.
Think he that
Me
petty?
neither. Nah.
Hell no.
You don't want that pussy no
But
more.
the whole thing about that's kind of weird is like, to me, that's like a rap beef. Like if me and my girl broke up and she followed some like podcaster that I had an issue with or whatever, that's kind of, but if it's like a purely like the Eminem MGK beef was just like rapping shit. It's not like they were looking for each other.
Well, it was-
if you follow somebody that shot at my crib or fucking that I've been having to be scared of day to day in my life, that to me is way more fucked up. Her following Eminem, like him and MGK, they were never gonna fight. right?
But let's be real. First of all, MGK was talking about Eminem's daughter. That's what really incensed the whole situation.
That is what started it.
And then like they had a dope back.
What did
and
he
forth.
actually say about his daughter?
He said like, "Oh, she's looking pretty cute."
She was underage.
Like, yeah.
He didn't know.
Yeah,
That following shit is crazy.
But regardless, look, like they had a really dope from like a hip hop perspective. They had a dope back and forth. MGK's diss track was actually hard. Eminem is fucking Eminem, and he went crazy. And here's the reason.
Barely.
Here's the thing, though. This fool, MGK, as a result, is exiled from hip hop culture and fucking became a pop punk sensation.
But he became successful though.
More successful than ever before.
By far.
And made good music in the context of what that is. However, the only reason we gave him a pass for wearing those fucking fruity ass nails and dressing like Sam Smith and doing all that shit is because he had Megan Fox, a top-notch piece of ass. And now
Is that why?
Hell yeah. And now that she shook spot,
I don't give a
I
fuck.
just wasn't really paying attention. Like, you want to wear pink leather jeans? I don't care.
I was like, you know what? At least you're fucking Megan Fox. And at the end of the day, now that she shook spot, he's looking real shaky out here, baby. He looks real.
I really love him
shaky.
because he's a great dad. He has,
How you
you know
know?
what I'm saying, interracial daughter. He has a black daughter. You know what I'm saying? They're very, very close. You know what I'm saying? That's like his best friend. And I follow that, you know what I'm saying? That side of him. I really don't give a
I
fuck
respect
about the
that.
music. You feel me? Like, but him outside of that, like, he's a very, very great dad. You feel me? Like,
Well,
to his daughter.
I don't know anything about his parenting. I haven't really looked into
No, I
that
have
side of his
seen that.
You
personality.
don't want to.
He has a black daughter. Just
That's
let
hard.
the record reflect.
I don't got that.
Doing hip hop.
You need to do that
You know what I'm
next.
saying? Like, it is
and he's a good actor too.
You know what I'm saying? Not to
Very
put a
good
race
actor.
in it, but you feel me? Like he's very, very
My whole
white.
thing-
You know what I'm
Wasn't he in
saying?
Bird
But
Box?
still.
This has always been my observation about MGK's pivot out of hip hop into pop punk is that you would kind of think that any rapper who was relatively well known and popular in hip hop, that if they did that, if they pivoted to a completely different genre and went to the rock side of things, it would be a big deal. And everybody would be talking about it in hip hop, at least for a little while. I don't feel like I've ever seen anybody in hip hop have any fucking serious conversations about the fact that MGK pivoted to being a pop punk dude, which granted for him is probably a good thing because he was able to kind of avoid the controversy of him leaving hip hop. But normally when somebody pivots out of hip hop and starts doing white boy shit, everybody wants to say, oh, look how we use the culture to get on. Look at this, whatever.
That's untrue because
I kinda missed
Charlemagne did
that.
it. Charlemagne called him out, and he always
It's
calls out Post
become-
Malone.
He did?
Post Malone.
always
and
he
you know
killing
what?
them.
This all goes. It started with Bubba Sparks when he made his second album, which is actually a really good album, the Deliverance album. He started veering into like the country elements way
A lot of
more.
people have done that now.
But
Yeah,
I think the
and
thing
that's-
is that black people can't do that.
right.
They're not received. That white people
But
can.
look
do
what
that.
Yachty just did. Yachty just did it very,
I
very
mean,
well.
but I don't think he's still like
He's still looked
pretty
at as a
much-
rapper though.
Yeah, he's not in the pop culture. Like
But
he's not in there.
No, you're right.
I think a huge percentage of country fans would probably be like pretty willing to accept black country stars, and there are. I'm just
well,
can't. I can't think of them
Darius,
right now.
Darius
But
Rucker.
that's
Let me
Hootie.
no
But
no
he's still-
no no no.
he's a
Let me
huge
give you a
fucking
let me
nigga.
let me
Well,
give
he
you a
doesn't
prime
come from
example.
hip-hop.
Well, Lil Nas
No,
X
let me-
came
yep.
out. They was hating that
Lil
shit.
Nas X, he tried to go
Okay.
country
They
and they
hated
cut
it.
it.
Hey, but there is one that
He had a
did
number
work.
one hit
There is
from
one
going
that
country.
worked.
Yeah, but they
what
hated
about?
that,
I'll
though.
give you an
Who?
example.
The people,
I'll give you
they
an
hated that
example.
shit.
Nelly,
Yeah.
Nelly, Tim McGraw, Nelly. You feel me?
They
Like,
took
song
Lil
with
Nas
my
X out the
head.
country category until he did the remix with
with Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Maybe
Put
the
him back
country
in.
fans weren't like dying to accept this little homosexual kid rap, like making country songs, but I don't think. I mean,
Black
he had a
homosexual kid.
number one song.
Facts.
You know, he had a number one song.
But he
I
never
feel
made
like-
another country song after that. Also,
And,
He, like,
and the extent to
completely
which that was a
pivoted away.
country song in the first place is a fucking joke. It had like a country sample in it.
Bro,
It's
he had
like-
the horses in the back. Fool.
But it was
But
it was his tone. He sounded like a white guy.
I actually, now I must be real. I consider that completely appropriate that they kept that off the country charts because it wasn't a fucking country song in the first place.
It's a country
And
song.
once they put Billy Ray Cyrus on it, I get it a little bit more, but I always thought that was a pretty fair decision. Also, yo, somebody hit me up and said that this is a really nice coffee table.
It is.
It is.
I had
like
no
it.
idea. Vlad was like, I got that in my house. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he sent me a picture and I'm like, I never even looked at it before.
Hey, so if you get
I
into
never seen no architecture
hey,
till now.
if you get into a Lena and she just unfollows everybody, and her only person she follows is Housephone.
It's over.
Where are we taking this?
It's over.
I'd be like, you a grimy Armenian bitch. You know that?
I had to do that before we get up out of here. I gotta throw a shot. I gotta throw a joke.
This is why he don't want you on Tuesday.
Yeah, he gotta,
He gonna take it back. Maybe
You're
we
right.
should
I take it back. I hate this guy. I hate this guy. No, but it's like a more like we don't know who MGK's like biggest beef in real life is. I guarantee that there's somebody that he has
You?
like a former friendship. Yeah, but like no, because me and him is still like jokey like public figure beef. It's not like we really fucking hate. We don't know enough about each other to like like.
I mean, the
was
last
pretty
time
mad.
he seen you, he
yeah,
was
yeah,
pretty-
but
he was
okay.
pretty mad.
There's a big
tried to
fucking
pep you.
difference between shit that's super personal between friends and shit that's like celebrities having their like these little like public skirmishes that affect their ego. Like the me and MGK thing was like some jokey public shit. Just like to me, the Eminem and MGK shit was some jokey public shit. There's probably somebody he really hates. And she was saying, who else was she following? With?
I think the fact she followed Eminem shows that he really hates her.
that might be true. He maybe
Really hates him.
Or she
that's
just couldn't
like-
think of somebody any better. Because, I mean, really, maybe he hates Eminem like that because he thinks that Eminem is really the reason why he had to go do this pop punk thing. Even
I
though
feel like
he's
that's
probably happier doing the pop
That-
punk shit than the hip hop
that
shit,
is-
he
right?
probably
is a
like, you
part of
niggas
it,
don't even
though.
want me to be a rapper anyway, so fuck y'all, but I really can rap better than all y'all anyway. But it proved it when he did this whole little diss song
But
to Eminem.
He has said that he plans on
Versatile.
coming back to hip hop, which if I was his manager, I would probably say like, nah,
Fuck that
just stick to
shit.
the pop shit. Yeah.
right now,
Stick to pop.
Yeah, stick to pop. Way over here, dying.
I mean,
over
but you
here.
can't,
tell
you
he
can't,
always
you
wanted
can't
to
tell
go in-
nobody though if that's his passion, his main passion.
Facts.
is
But
hip-hop.
if I was his manager, I would try to strongly urge him.
Do you think Jack Harlow is going to make that move?
Absolutely.
Hell no.
1,000%.
I don't see
I
Jack Harlow.
don't
in
see
any
Jack Harlow
other
doing that.
Okay.
He
genre.
will slowly
Okay.
transition into other genres, even though I think he's
Okay.
probably smart enough to keep hip hop as his
whole-
base.
He's going to stay doing hip hop.
But
Give
a
him a
whole
few years.
pop
He's
album.
so early in his career. What he's going to be doing 8 years from now, I'm sure he'll segue into other genres.
Like you said, having him in those Dorito commercials is monumental right
Hey,
now.
but props to him for putting
I
on
fuck with Jack Harlow.
for
Yeah.
putting on ESTG and shit on records. I fuck
You
with
know what?
that.
I don't like when I was watching the Doritos commercial. I don't know why, but the Doritos bag just looked crazy to me. Like it just looked like they had like it was CGI or something.
It's
Like
marketing.
It just looked nuts, and I don't know why exactly. I gotta
Hey,
look into it more.
And see, they got you because you probably gonna see the real stuff.
Hey, do we put
Kill me.
Russ? Do we put Russ in this white rapper category?
Hell yeah.
He-
Russ is dope. I don't
He's
give a fuck
always
nobody
been like
says.
outside of like
I feel like he
uh,
just. I
he's
feel
more
like
like
he's
R
just
and
not
B,
white.
like, and he's not really that white. I don't
He's
know what
white
he is.
as far as a large percentage of the population who listens to rap considers, right?
Hey,
I don't know. I just don't consider him like no corny.
You know what I was thinking about?
I
the other
respect,
day?
I
who's trying to
respect
take the
everybody.
culture. I don't feel like he's that.
artistically. If you can rap, you can write your own shit, you can produce your shit and engineer your shit.
He
There's
cold.
not a lot of people that can do that
But
shit, bro.
here's a
No.
question that I was thinking about the other day. Did hip hop stop picking on Russ, or did Russ just stop saying controversial
No,
statements?
Russ started whooping ass and tell niggas to leave him alone.
That is a very good point too. But also, I feel like it's been a long time since I heard Russ say one of those things that he used to kind of say a lot at the time that like pissed everybody off.
He's not as outspoken as he used to be.
It seems like he kind of maybe at a certain point was like, all right, I'm gonna.
I mean, because he grabbed the attention, more attention from people. Because I mean, like what they say, bad publicity, good publicity. It's
But
all
to
the
be
same.
fair, he had a gigantic fucking fan base even then, and I don't think that like him beefing with me or Smoke Purp or whatever was like helping his fan base at all. Like his fan base didn't care at all about
Well,
all
that,
beef shit
that
he
was
getting to.
the whole thing. Because every time somebody would say something about him, he's doing a sold out show and showing the fucking crowd.
But
That's
if-
the easiest way to shit
If
on
I'm
somebody.
Russ, I'd probably rather just focus on that and not be like trying to beat with 808 Mafia on fucking Twitter one day or whatever. Like it's probably like at a certain point he was like, you know what?
Or have somebody attack Adam.
Right. This shit is probably overshadowing
Him-
some of the fact that he's insanely successful musically.
Well,
right?
and him being like on this anti-industry tirade, that seemed to be like the whole undercurrent of a lot of his outbursts were like I'm independent, so I'm making all my money, and all you fucking industry artists are
You was
fucking
about to say the
hoes.
N-word on Black History Month.
What the fuck?
yeah, he was,
You was about to say it.
and he was.
Lush called me the other day saying it like 10 times.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I had to hang up.
I said it to AD the other day. He wasn't tripping at
Really?
all. No.
I was about to say.
Whoa!
I didn't say it, period.
You letting that go, huh?
I've definitely said it before.
Call Wack
My
on your
friend,
ass.
I knew.
Yeah,
dude-
Wack. Sick me on them.
I knew some guys with a clothing company, and they made a hat that said the W version of the N word. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Wiggle.
On a hat. And I said to him, I'm like, how did that sell when you put it out? He goes, it's so good, but I'm gonna be real, I don't think it was worth it. From a distance, nobody noticed that it was a W.
It's really
Wow.
it's not the word to be said.
I mean, a W and an N, just like from a distance,
You a wigger.
They're a little too close.
It's an extra little
It's
squiggle.
one line extra. Yeah.
You feel like you a wigger, Lush?
Yes.
Lush.
I do.
Lush, you a wigger?
He's a wigger.
Oh, him? Yeah. I was talking about me, but him too. Yeah.
I mean, it's really not.
He's
for me to
definitely
say.
a wigger.
He said,
Nah.
To
it's a
anybody who
wobbler.
seriously uses that term, I feel like
No
they would
swag.
have to give you
I
it.
for sure, but like
Like I can see Lush like being one of them people that stands up in Black History Month and have a full dashiki on and be in front of the picture like this.
No,
Kente cloth and all
Yeah.
that. No.
What
Can we
the-
No,
get?
that's Josh.
We got to get you one of them fits.
That's
You
Josh.
know what? You know
That's
what?
Josh too.
Lush Pelosi.
I used to get, I feel like that's a super antiquated word at this point. Like,
Yeah.
people shouldn't even be saying it, period. Like, I did when I was younger, I would hear that shit, but like,
The N word, right?
No, the
Wigger.
W word.
Oh, okay.
The W word.
which derives directly from that.
Wait,
So,
Lush, what is your real name?
It does.
Nick.
What? Nick Sharpton.
Nick Fuentes.
This nigga name
Nicholas Sharpton.
Nick at night.
Nicholas.
Nicolette
Your
Shea.
name's Nicholas?
Nicholas Tubman.
Oh, you're really fucking white out here,
Saint
dog.
Nick.
Is that a super white name?
Come on, Nicholas.
Is that a super white
Come
name?
here, Wiggless.
You know any black guys named Nick?
Yeah, I know. I do.
Absolutely.
Nicholas, it's a wobbler. That ain't really no white name.
I've seen those lists of like the most black names
Nicholas?
and the most white names. Like,
I don't know no Jamals.
I was
right.
honestly,
I think
was
that's
always,
gone out
I
of
know a
favor.
Jamal.
when I
Jamal's
was
old
Right
school.
now in 2023?
Yeah, I know a
I
Jamal.
don't remember
He's
seeing
older,
Nicholas
though.
on it.
when I was growing up, people always called me Nicky. Like that was always been my name.
He's a bit.
Nicki Minaj.
My boy named
Nicki
Nicky.
Minaj.
Nicky Lush.
Hey, do I
Nicki
need to
Minaj
hold on,
Lush.
hold
Nikki
on,
Sita.
hold on, hold on.
Nikki
Oh,
Sita.
am I fighting all of y'all right now?
Yeah. Oh, Nikki. Stop it, Nikki.
Leave him alone, Nicki.
Crackheads going crazy.
All right, we out of here. This has been a nice long episode. If you want us to keep going and giving you more time on the
Hey,
fucking
this
playlist,
This is what we not.
we're going to keep doing it early. Shout out
we
Nicki
not
Minaj.
Hey, this is what we. But hey, R.I.P. to True Goy, the Dove, Plug 2 from De La Soul.
Bro, if you die during the
on.
Super Bowl, that is like a terrible result because everybody's going to be paying attention to the Super Bowl. I feel bad for him. but
R.I.P. You feel me?
I listen to De La
Hip-hop
Soul all the
legends.
fucking time around my kid and shit. So
Hip hop legends.
that's a sad one, man.
Absolutely.
For sure. Appreciate everybody who watched this. NoJumper.com if you want to support, like, comment, subscribe, etc. We out. Bow.